This page is the front cover of Dreamcast Magazine, issue dated August 27, 1999, and priced at 980 yen. The cover promotes a special edition with 2 GDROM demo discs included. Disc 1 features game demos including Cool Borders Burn and Buggy Heat. Disc 2 highlights Soul Calibur. The cover also mentions other featured games such as Zombie Revenge, Kikusenki Evolution 2, Sakura Wars, Flower Division Columns 2, and Shenmue. The cover prominently displays 2 anime-style female characters. This page is an advertisement for the Sega Dreamcast console, highlighting a new price of 19,900 yen, described as an international standard price. A businessman figure is shown at the bottom of the page. This page previews 6 Dreamcast games: Frame Gride, Mech Action, Air Force Delta, Flight Shooting, Seaman, Pet Simulation, Soul Calibur, Fighting Action, Professional Baseball Team, Tsukuru, Sports Simulation, and Climax Landers, RPG. Prices range from 5,800 to 7,800 yen. Several games support visual memory, Dreamcast keyboard, and VGA box. Publishers include From Software, Konami, Vivarium, Namco, and Sega Enterprises. A What's Shenmue campaign, the Shenmue Pursuit Trial Version Present campaign, offers a playable demo to those who purchase Dreamcast hardware or software starting August 5th. The demo provides a short story unrelated to the main game and showcases Shenmue's new system. The next page is an advertisement for the Dreamcast game Cool Borders BURRRRN. The ad highlights the game as a power-up to the Cool Borders series for Dreamcast, boasting extreme speed and realistic gameplay. It mentions new modes including a battle mode. The page features several screenshots of gameplay and character portraits from the game. The next page is an advertisement for the Dreamcast game Cool Borders Burn. It advertises a campaign where you can win a Cool Borders original snowboard and quo cards if you send in the included questionnaire postcard after purchasing the software. The campaign is from August 26th to September 30th. The advertisement also shows the gamebox art and lists the price of the game as 5,800 yen. This page is the contents page for Dreamcast Magazine Volume 2. It outlines the articles and features within this issue. The magazine highlights 3 key games playable on the included GDROM discs. The first featured game is Cool Borders Burn, promising a cool and exhilarating snowboarding experience for the hot summer. Next is Buggy Heat, offering dynamic off-road racing in a demo version. Finally, Soul Calibur is presented as a must-see Dreamcast title. A significant portion of the magazine, starting on page 104, is dedicated to Soul Calibur Part 2, providing an extensive guide to enhance enjoyment of both the demo and the full game. This section includes details on unlocking Edgemaster and Cervantes, an analysis of the game system, advanced techniques for the 10 core characters, a comprehensive look at hidden characters and time-release characters, and developer insights into the Dreamcast version secrets for its massive player base. Beyond games, the magazine includes a summer travel guide to Hokkaido's 3 major tourist spots, starting on page 140, and a special feature on enjoying anime through Digital Club on Sky Perfect TV, starting on page 149, offering valuable information for anime enthusiasts. This Dreamcast Magazine page serves as a game index, showcasing upcoming and featured titles. Several new games are highlighted. Zombie Revenge, action game mistakenly described as a first RPG, Shenmue Episode 2 Distant Promise, previewing Shenmue 2, Sakura Wars Hanagumi Taisen Columns 2, puzzle game, and Japan-only releases Atsumare, Guru Guru Onsen, likely a minigame collection, and Revive, Sosei, adventure game. Other sections include Dreamcast Hot Information, with brief previews of titles like D no Shokutaku 2 and Carrier, and a Dreamcast Soft Complete Guide, covering games such as Professional Baseball Team, Tsukuru, and Frame Gride. Day. The index is organized alphabetically by Japanese syllabary, providing game titles and corresponding page numbers. This page details the press conference for the new Sakura Wars OVA series, Sakura Wars The Radiant Gorgeous Blooming Buds. The conference, held on July 28, announced the production of this new OVA. Key figures like Oji Hiroi, original creator, Kohei Tanaka, music, Susumu Kudo, director, and Hiroyuki Kawasaki, series composition and script, attended. The voice actresses for Sakura Shinguji and Maria Tachibana, Chisa Yokoyama, and Sane Takasugi also appeared in costume. The article highlights that this OVA series will delve into aspects of the Sakura Wars world not fully explored in the games, focusing on the characters' daily lives. It also excitedly announces that the Gemini Group members, including Maria and Iris, will feature prominently. The series is planned for 6 episodes, with each episode focusing on different characters, including Reini, Sunameyer, Kana, and Orihime. The first volume is set for release on December 18th, on video, Laserdisc, and DVD, priced at 5,800 yen for a 30-minute episode. The article also mentions that attendees at the press conference received promotional items like posters and bullet-shaped keychains. The Tokyo Character Show drew over 41,000 visitors, showcasing new merchandise and stage events. Highlights included booths from Kadokawa Shoten, Broccoli, Aquarian Age, Sega, Shenmue, Data East, Revive, and Konami, Tokimeki Memorial. A present section announced a Namco Soul Calibur poster and magazine campaign with rare trading cards. A news section detailed a Dreamcast communication experiment using railway networks in the Tokyo metropolitan area, with potential for online gaming and content delivery to train station displays. Finally, the information section announced a pre-release commercial film for Maju Ken X, highlighting the game's 3D sound, airing on TV Tokyo and TV Osaka. A table listed locations displaying Soul Calibur posters and Dreamcast demo units. The next page highlights several announcements. Namco is releasing a karaoke game called Million Hit Provisional for arcades in December, featuring instrument controllers and songs from Nikado. The Wonder Festival 99 Summer Garage Kit event is scheduled for August 8th at Tokyo Big Sight. Sega Sammy is participating in Comic Market 56 in August, offering limited edition telephone cards and a Dreamcast Magazine Facebook as prizes. Electronic Arts Square has signed a deal with soccer player Hidetoshi Nakata to create games for the 2002 World Cup under the project name Project N. Disney Fan Square from Sega is hosting a coloring contest for children. Lastly, there is news about Dreamcast and DirectX, with Microsoft developing DirectX for the console under the name Meltdown Tokyo 1999. DirectX 6.1 is currently used, and an upgrade to DirectX 7 is expected to improve performance. This page is an advertisement for the 4th MILCD, featuring the idol group Chekiko Musume, highlighting that you can enjoy 19 members in swimsuits on CD players and Dreamcast. This MILCD contains songs and images of the group, and is related to the TV show Daiba Kushing. The page also features ads for other music CDs, including Siberia Sherbets, Sister K, Golden Best Yosui Inoue, and My Rules Patria. This page showcases the Dreamcast Weekly Sales Top 10 chart. Number 1 is Frame Gride, a communication battle action game from Software, praised for its online versus play. Second place is Tokyo Highway Battle, a racing game featuring cars that those who know will understand, with a variety of car types. Third is Sonic Adventure, a platformer where players are encouraged to check the dedicated homepage if they have any questions while playing the new Sonic. In fourth position is Virtua Fighter 3 TB, a fighting game considered a must-play for fans, especially the 3 version. Fifth is Denpa Shonen Teki Kensho Seikatsu, Nasubi no Heya, a new soft title based on the popular TV show, allowing players to experience the extravagant prize life. Street Fighter Alpha 3, known as Street Fighter 03 here, takes 6th place, with tournament applications being accepted until August. 7th is The King of Fighters, Dream Match 1999, marking a new chapter in the series from '99. Giant Graham. All Japan Pro Wrestling 2 in Nippon Budokan is 8th, a wrestling game that mentions VM games can be saved from the main game, but colored VM units are also available for purchase. The House of the Dead 2 is in 9th, asking if you have cleared the original and recommending the arcade mode for free play. Finally, in 10th place is World Neverland Plus, Orude Kingdom Story, a simulation game that highlights the use of bulletin boards and migrant notes, suggesting players utilize communication features. This article details the top 30 most anticipated Dreamcast titles, based on a survey. Shenmue, Yokosuka, tops the list with 552 points, followed by Grandia 2, 508 points, and Resident Evil Code, Veronica, 317 points. The article recommends experiencing Shenmue's demo and highlights Grandia 2's potential difficulty. The weekly pickup section features Kinki Sekai Evolution 2, a sequel with improved graphics and action. Hana Gumi Taisen Columns 2, a Sakura Wars-themed puzzle game. Atsumare, Guru Guru Onsen, and Cool Borders BURRRRN. The ranking continues with titles like Magical Drop F, Cyber Troopers Virtual Amon, SNK vs. Capcom, and D no Shokutaku 2. The release dates range from late 1999 into 2000 and include various genres such as fighting, RPGs, sports, and more. The anticipation ranking reflects data collected on August 6th. This page features rankings and previews from a Dreamcast magazine. The top section presents a Porting Wish Top 20 list, voted by readers, highlighting games they desire to see on the Dreamcast. Topping this list is Dead or Alive 2, followed by Street Fighter 2, Third Strike, and the Shining Force series. Metal Gear Solid and Final Fantasy series also appear high in the ranking. Interestingly, Sega Saturn titles like Shining Force and Burning Rangers are requested, alongside Nintendo 64's Ogre Battle 64. Below this is a Video Game Income Ranking Top 15, showcasing the top-earning arcade games. Virtua Striker 2 Ver 99 takes the #1 spot, with Virtua Fighter 3 TB and Street Fighter 2 Third Strike also in the top 3. The King of Fighters 99 and Soul Calibur are also listed in this arcade ranking. A weekly pickup section focuses on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Heritage for the Future. This section mentions that JoJo is being reborn with new characters like Hal Horse and a new mode. It seems to be a preview for the arcade version running on the CP System 2i board. Finally, a celebration section congratulates Rent a Hero for achieving the #1 spot. This section mentions a Dreamcast version and refers to the Naomi arcade board, suggesting the Dreamcast version is based on the Naomi arcade hardware. This page is a release schedule for Dreamcast software and hardware, spanning from August 1999 into the year 2000. In August 1999, notable software releases include Cool Borders Burn and titles from the Gundam and Nadesico anime series. September 1999 features Dancing Blade Kate ni Momotenshi, Poppen Music 2, Espion Agents, and games like J-League Pro Soccer Club Otsukuru and Idol Junshi Otsukuchou. October 1999 sees releases such as Burai Burai, Yume Maboroshi, 99 Internet, and Shenmue I, Chapter Yokosuka, Initial Limited Edition. November 1999 highlights titles such as Super Producers Mezase Shobizukai, Space Griffin, and Dreamcast Sequencer, tentative title. December 1999 includes Eikyu Gensukyoku, 3 Perpetual Blue, and Berserk. Within 1999, notable games listed are Mercurius Pretty End of the Century, Monster Breed, and Undercover AD2025 Key. January 2000 features Sentimental Graffiti 2. Spring 2000 includes games like WWW Soccer and MSR, tentative title. Summer 2000 has releases like Rayman 2, tentative title, and Dark Eyes, tentative title. Autumn 2000 lists games such as SD Flying Dragon's Fist Legend EX and SNK vs. Capcom. Winter 2000 shows NFL 2000 and NBA 2000, along with Ready 2 Rumble Boxing. The hardware section lists peripherals for release within 1999, including a fishing controller, zip drive, tentative title, and a microphone device. This page presents the results of the Dreamcast Magazine Readers Poll, Race 29, ranking Dreamcast games based on reader votes. The top-ranked games are listed in the overall Dreamcast Soft A ranking section, led by Sega 2 in first place, followed by Sonic Adventure, and The House of the Dead 2 in third. Other highly ranked games include Giant Graham, All Japan Pro Wrestling 2 and Nippon Budokan, Pop D Music, Marvel vs. Capcom, Clash of Superheroes, Power Stone, World Neverland Plus, Ultrain Kingdom Story, Elemental Gimmick Gear, and Street Fighter Alpha 3. Dynamite Cop is also listed, along with North, White Illumination Pure Song and Pictures, Frame Gride, and Arrow Dancing featuring Blue Impulse. A new Dark Horse introduction section highlights North, White Illumination Pure Song and Pictures as a newly introduced game gaining traction. Similarly, new single Dark Horse introduction introduces Living Weapon Expendable as a game to watch. The counter Dark Horse introduction features World Neverland Plus, Ultrain Kingdom Story as a game that is a strong contender. Finally, the Odds Table Dreamcast Expected section discusses upcoming new releases and reader expectations for future games. This page presents the Oz Dreamcast Software Best 30 ranking, compiled from reader votes and features reviews. The rankings include games from 14th to 44th place, with details like Japanese titles, developers, genres, and scores. Notable titles include Garou, Mark of the Wolves, Street Fighter Alpha 3, Shenmue, and Sonic Adventure. Reviews cover individual games. Street Fighter Alpha 3, 03, receives an 8.8448 overall score, lauded for improvements in online play. Frame Guide, ranked 21st, gets an 8.7647 score for its graphics and mecha designs. Shusumebu Boy Kanaban, Busu Robot no Nazo, Super Invention Boy Kanaban, scores 6.7142, criticized for its graphics and collision issues. The page also previews upcoming software with expected rankings, including 9 Chairs 29 and Soul Calibur. This page features a reader poll ranking Dreamcast peripherals and game reviews. The top-ranked peripheral is the Puru Puru Pack, followed by the Askini Mission Stick. Game reviews are also featured, starting with Seaman, which is described as a forbidden pet, and the review mentions the strange nature of raising the creature. The average score from the magazine is 8.0. Next is Air Force Delta, a flight simulator and shooting game, praised for its balance and compatibility with the Asai Mission Stick. The magazine average score is 7.66. Following is Honkaku Hanafuda, a traditional Japanese card game noted for its solid basic gameplay, smooth loading times, and variety of game modes and rules. The magazine average score is 5.66. Lastly, World's Mysteries Discovery, Troya, known internationally as Toribia no Izumi, Troya, is reviewed, criticized for its short playtime, rough polygons, strange movements, and tedious story. The magazine average score is a low 3.66. The page also details a reader prediction contest, where participants guess the ranking of the game Mobile Suit Gundam Gaiden, Colony no Ochita Chi Day, and win prizes. Readers can win Dreamcast arcade sticks and VMs as part of a special weekly present. The page also includes reader comments about games like Seaman and Soul Calibur. This page is an advertisement for the Strategy Guidebook Campaign 99 by SoftBank Publishing. It details a campaign running from August to the end of September 1999. Customers who purchase a strategy guide with an application ticket can apply to win prizes. Prizes include a WonderSwan handheld console, 30 winners, a GameSpot two-way bag, 300 winners, Neo Ranga trading cards, 20 winners, and a QO card worth 500 yen, 1,000 winners. The ad features images of the prizes and mentions that the strategy guides are for Dreamcast games. Specifically mentioned are strategy guides for SD Gundam G Generation 0 Navigation Guide, Provisional, and Soul Calibur Perfect Guide, and other titles. This page is a preview for the Dreamcast game Zombie Revenge, which is being ported from the NAOMI arcade system. The article highlights that this popular 3D action game is coming to Dreamcast quickly. It mentions it's a complete arcade port with original Dreamcast elements. The game is an action title for up to 2 players and is compatible with arcade sticks, rumble packs, and VGA boxes. The release is scheduled for October, and the price is 5,800 yen, excluding tax. The preview also mentions the game is 30% complete at this stage. The tagline is, "October this year, the Dance of Fear descends." The page features several screenshots of the gameplay, showing characters fighting zombies in various environments. Zombie Revenge, coming to Dreamcast, features a story centered around the UDS, Undead Soldier Project, where soldiers are brainwashed and physically enhanced to become undying weapons. The game, initially titled Blood Bullet and a potential spin-off of The House of the Dead, was developed on the NAOMI arcade board and debuted at the 1998 AM show. The game garnered significant attention at its debut. The page introduces the game and includes a developer interview with Mr. Nakagawa and Mr. Imaeda, addressing whether the Dreamcast version will be a simple port or feature significant changes, potentially influenced by the Biohazard/Resident Evil series. Readers are encouraged to read the full interview for more details. The game's premise is described as a scream of terror echoing in the city and a revival of devils. Zombie Revenge is a 3D action game coming to the Dreamcast, promising a deep story and RPG elements for enhanced replayability. Players control characters using an 8-directional lever and 3 buttons, battling zombies with gunfire and melee attacks. The game features 3 playable characters: Linda Rotter, skilled with firearms; Rikia Busujima, focusing on melee with air pressure manipulation; and Stick Brightring, a balanced character and the protagonist. Gameplay involves weapon selection, with diverse experiences, including scenes with a minigun. Despite its difficulty, the game offers cinematic storytelling and is enjoyed by many fans, with Rikia's quote, "Death is not scary, is it?" being iconic. An arcade version is also recommended. This page is dedicated to showcasing the allure of Zombie Revenge. It emphasizes the game's beautiful graphics rendered in real time, highlighting that even demo scenes are not pre-rendered movies, but are entirely in-game. The page also details the new combat system, noting that basic controls are simple to learn, with an 8-way directional lever and 3 buttons. A key feature is the poison infection system, where players accumulate a poison gauge when taking damage, leading to visual changes and potentially negative status effects. The variable shot system is also explained, where the gun's attack power changes dynamically as the player locks onto enemies, with the target reticle's color shifting from blue to red to indicate increasing damage potential, encouraging continuous shooting for maximum effectiveness. Enemy types are introduced like UDS-05, described as a biological weapon focusing on electric attacks, and advanced UDS types UDS-TP-200 and UDS-TP-201, which combine biological and mechanical elements for enhanced power and heavy equipment. Finally, the character ZED is mentioned as being shrouded in mystery, except for his golden eye and cryptic messages he sends via a stick. McCoy is also briefly mentioned as a highly intelligent zombie, wielding shotguns and posing a significant threat to the player. Rikia Nakagawa of Sega's AM1 discusses the Dreamcast port of the arcade game Zombie Revenge. The port, approximately 30% complete, aims for arcade-perfect fidelity. While an RPG version was considered, the decision favored a direct port due to the arcade game's inherent richness. The goal is to provide the experience of playing a challenging arcade game, originally costing 100 yen per play, at home for 5,800 yen, offering a comparable entertainment value to a movie night. The Dreamcast version will include potential original content while retaining the core arcade experience. Nakagawa hints at an original mode to modify gameplay and potentially adjust the difficulty. He also touches on Sega's integration of arcade and consumer development, indicating a move toward original titles leveraging arcade expertise. The interview concludes by emphasizing enhanced graphics and a game experience designed to provide 50 minutes of satisfying gameplay. The next page is a preview of the Dreamcast version of Zombie Revenge. It discusses elements unique to the home console version, moving beyond a simple arcade port. The developers are aiming for a complete port, but want to add elements that enhance the home experience. They are considering several new features, and gauge their likelihood of implementation. These include new items and weapons, 70% likely; online communication features possibly inspired by Planet Ring, 50% likely; and a boss mode, questioned, implied likelihood is higher. A VM minigame, similar to zombie breeding, was considered, but has a low implementation chance at 1%. The home mode is almost certain at 99%. Screenshots of gameplay are shown, and the article teases more information to come. The interview snippets include comments from director Kenichi Imaeda and Nakagawa, discussing these potential additions. This page is an exciting preview for Evolution 2, Far Promise on the Dreamcast, the sequel to the hit RPG Evolution, to Distant Promise. It's announced as the second installment in the series, hot on the heels of the first game, and promises to be another graphical showcase. Developed by Sega, ESP, and Sting, it's slated for release in 1999, although the price is still to be decided. This action-packed RPG is a single-player adventure and boasts enhanced features like visual memory support, rumble functionality, and VGA compatibility for crisp visuals. The page highlights the return of familiar adventurers, showcasing impressive graphics already in development, and touting it as a new step for the Dreamcast. Screenshots depict in-game environments and characters. Character profiles detail Mag Launcher, described as an adventurer, and Chain Gun, a sword-type Psy-frame user and adventurer girl who fights alongside Launcher and secretly admires him. The text also mentions the story revolves around treasure hunting and investigating ancient civilizations, hinting at a deeper plot connected to powerful organizations. The next page introduces Evolution 2, Far Off Promise, highlighting it as the sequel to Evolution, The World of Sacred Device. This installment takes place half a year after the original, with the setting shifting to the new continent of Pelgabidia. The game promises renewed CG models, improved backgrounds, and detailed character animations. A key new feature is the Sci-Frame system, which enhances both battles and adventure aspects. The scenario is said to have greater depth and emotional impact. Featured characters include Mag Launcher, the protagonist and skilled adventurer, and a new rival character named Yurka, described as a beautiful and enigmatic young man who challenges Mag. Also mentioned are Greyneed and Pepperbox, supporting characters. Screenshots showcase urban environments in Paldea with paved roads and detailed cityscapes. Other screenshots illustrate gameplay, including combat scenarios and exploration of dungeons where players must navigate obstacles like rocks, suggesting action elements beyond battles. The game emphasizes strategic combat beyond just attacking. This page previews an RPG for the Dreamcast that delves into the mysteries of an unknown ancient civilization. The game emphasizes the town as a central hub for players. The town's map system is improved, offering better perspectives and character viewpoint control. Weather and time changes dynamically affect the town's atmosphere and enhance dramatic events. Within towns, various facilities are available, such as item shops marked by clear signage and bars where players can gather crucial information, similar to the previous game in the series. Hotels serve as locations to manage party members and store items. The narrative background focuses on characters from the previous title, with Nina, a member of the Société, accompanying the protagonist, Mag. Their journey to Panamtum Town is triggered by a request to the Société, and Nina acts as a guide. Screenshots suggest potential troubles may arise. Key elements highlighted are the ancient civilization, a lost advanced society whose ruins are scattered globally and which Mag explored in the previous game, and the Sci-Frame, a versatile machine from this civilization. Only select individuals can wield the Sci-Frame, turning them into adventurers. Ruins hold parts to upgrade Sci-Frame abilities. The next page highlights Evolution 2, Far Off Promise. It details the dungeon exploration aspects of the game, showcasing features like Dodoki gimmicks, pitfalls, and ice floors within the randomly generated dungeons. The page emphasizes the use of psycho-frames, even during movement, which can destroy walls and obstacles to find hidden rooms. It also mentions improvements to battles, noting that enemies now react more dynamically, showing exclamation marks when they notice the player, and weaker enemies might even flee. Finally, the page points out the always visible escape command, allowing players to reliably run from even strong enemies if needed. The screenshots display in-game dungeon environments and battle scenarios. The text boxes explain the gameplay mechanics and features described. This interview with Sting's Hashimoto-san discusses the development of Evolution 2, Far Off Promise for the Dreamcast. The sequel was greenlit due to positive user feedback on the original Evolution. The developers aimed to build upon the first game's accessibility and engaging world. User feedback directly influenced key additions, like the Continental Railway. Evolution 2 features story-driven dungeons with unique designs, a departure from the first game's free choice approach. While earning money remains similar, a new Sci-Frame system allows players to break dungeon structures to discover hidden treasures. The Sci-Frame upgrade system using parts returns. Though improvements are being made, save data from the original Evolution will not transfer to Evolution 2. Screenshots of characters and environments highlight the advancements. Evolution 2, Far Off Promise, the sequel to the Dreamcast RPG, introduces significant enhancements. The game's subtitle hints at a core story detail, kept secret for now, and the title screen uses blue to evoke the sky and sea. Players will explore the Paldea continent, now accessible by railway, including the more metropolitan city of Museville. The story picks up 6 months after the first game, featuring redesigned character models with improved textures and subtly altered costumes. In-game dialogue now includes voice acting, and the developers aim to push the Dreamcast's technical limits further. Gameplay improvements include enhanced camera work, a destructible environment in the Sci-Frame battle system, and the introduction of new mysterious characters like Yulka. Dungeons boast intricate designs, offering puzzle solving and a deeper experience. This page is a Dreamcast Magazine special report, announcing the release of Sakura Wars Hanagumi Columns 2 for the Dreamcast. This latest installment in the Sakura Wars series is described as a dramatic puzzle game, and is scheduled for release in December. The announcement reveals that news of the Dreamcast Sakura Wars title was first disclosed by Hiroi Oji during the Song Show 3 event on August 4th at the Tokyo Welfare Pension Hall. The game is positioned as a powered-up version of Hanagumi Taisen Columns 2, which was originally released on Sega Saturn, and boasts enhanced graphics. Screenshots showcase gameplay featuring familiar characters like Sakura and Ogami, highlighting the puzzle action and character interactions. The game will also feature online multiplayer capabilities via the Dreamcast's network functionality, allowing players across the country to compete against each other. Additionally, the page includes sections titled Sakura Wars Series Genealogy, which briefly mentions the original Sakura Wars released in September 1996 for Sega Saturn, highlighting its success and numerous related products. There are also sections with release information for Sakura Wars and Sakura Wars Hanagumi Communication, and Sakura Wars Hanagumi Columns for Sega Saturn, listing their release dates and prices. This page is dedicated to Sakura Wars Columns 2 for the Dreamcast, highlighting it as a sequel to the original puzzle game Columns, released by Sega in 1990. The article explains that the Dreamcast version of Sakura Wars Columns 2 builds upon the Sega Saturn version and introduces new elements, like new characters, specifically Orihime and Lenny, and online battles for national fan competition. The game features a Cinderella story mode, where players compete for the lead role, and a puzzle mode. The screenshots showcase gameplay and interactions with characters. The article mentions that the game retains the charm of the Saturn version, while adding new features, including refined gameplay and deeper strategic elements. Additionally, the page highlights several related Sakura Wars titles released on Sega Saturn, such as Sakura Wars Steam Radio Show, released in November 1997, Sakura Wars 2, Thou Shalt Not Die, released in April 1998, and Sakura Wars Imperial Capital Glorious Days, released in December 1998. A section titled Still More mentions further Sakura Wars related products available on Sega Saturn, including Imperial Flower Troop Mail Order Club and Computer Memory Almanac, suggesting there was a wealth of supplementary content for dedicated fans. This page is focused on What's Shenmue?, a preview demo disc for the highly anticipated Dreamcast game Shenmue Chapter 1, Yokosuka. The demo, which started distribution on August 5th, is described as a Shenmue appetizer campaign and is intended for those curious about the full game. It allows players to experience a portion of the Shenmue world and understand its gameplay mechanics. Yu Suzuki, the general director of Shenmue, comments that the demo is like one quest from the full game, and that many such quests will make up the final experience. The page also highlights Ryo Hazuki as the main character, a high school senior skilled in Hazuki-style jujutsu, and introduces other characters. Shenmue Chapter 1, Yokosuka, is confirmed for release on October 28th by Sega, priced at 6,800 yen, and will be a 3-disc set. The game is labeled as free, full reactive eyes entertainment. The page emphasizes that the demo is a valuable glimpse into the Shenmue world and urges those who haven't got it to visit game stores to obtain it while supplies last. This page details the What's Shenmue trial version, focusing on the search for Xiaoyu in Dobuita. 6 key features are highlighted. The demo includes a help function, free viewpoint control, and the integration of real-world products like Timex watches and Coca-Cola vending machines. Item usage through a menu is explained, with the memo book noted for its importance. Automatic viewpoint switching aids navigation during conversations, and a zoom function allows for detailed environmental observation. The demo features over 50 characters, including numerous pedestrians and shopkeepers. The text lists various characters and their roles, such as store employees, pedestrians, and specific shopkeepers like the fish shop and clothing store. Dreamcast Magazine previews Shenmue, highlighting its innovative features and realism. The Magic Weather system features dynamic weather affecting character behavior. Random QuickTimer events bring unexpected street fights with characters like Inoki, using QTEs. The Life Habits program simulates daily routines, with characters shopping at stores in detailed locations, enhancing world immersion. Gameplay includes a fighting system with elbow assault and shoulder shift techniques, daily training, and vehicle options beyond walking. Players can utilize bikes, motorbikes, and buses to traverse the game world. The preview also touches on shopping, where players can buy items using earned money. These elements aim to create a realistic second reality for players. Shenmue's focus is on super reality and time control to create an immersive experience. Super reality emphasizes realistic environments like Treasure Sushi, World Journey Travel, and Game Center U, showcasing detailed interiors and seemingly active NPCs. Time Control features a dynamic day/night cycle with changing lighting and atmosphere. The game world is brought to life with details like a roaming stray dog, shopping NPCs, and children engaging in activities. Did you notice? Highlights small details like rideable buses, special events triggered by gameplay, and real-time clocks. The trial version offers 7 in-game hours, 21 minutes real-time, emphasizing the game's leisurely pace and encouraging exploration. Shenmue's depth and immersive qualities will be on display at TGS. The next page is an interview with Takashi Sasu, the producer of Guru Guru Onsen. The article highlights that for a monthly fee of 300 yen, players can enjoy unlimited access to the Guru Guru Onsen online game on Dreamcast, with only telephone charges on top. The interview discusses the pricing system and confirms that it is a fixed monthly fee of 300 yen, allowing players to play as much as they want. It also mentions that the game is accessible throughout Japan, with a flat-rate telephone charge. Sasu explains that Guru Guru Onsen is designed for online play and emphasizes the large server capacity, capable of handling up to 50,000 concurrent players. The game world is described as having 224 rooms spread across 5 floors, with different game types available in each room, including card games and mahjong. The server infrastructure is scalable to accommodate even larger player numbers if needed. The game appears to be a virtual hot spring where players can meet and play minigames together online. Guru Guru Onsen is a Dreamcast online game offering accessible gameplay and nationwide real-time multiplayer via Dream Passport. For a monthly fee of 300 yen plus connection costs, players can access online hot springs and participate in game tournaments. Tournaments, held over set periods, reward high average scores with prizes like hot spring trips, with rankings displayed on a server. Resetting scores during tournaments incurs penalties. Interviews with Toshihiro Shibazaki and Amari Nagashima reveal the game's design philosophy. Shibazaki highlights frequent rotating tournaments, e.g., shogi, mahjong, and user feedback. Nagashima emphasizes the game's goal of integrating into daily life, fostering social interaction, and providing a new type of entertainment accessible to all players. She manages the game's website and homepage. The next page is focused on the online multiplayer experience of Net de Para Para, a Dreamcast game where up to 5 people can play in one room and a total of 10,000 players can be in the online Hot Springs environment at once. The page details how players can find rooms and communicate in a chat area, mentioning that each floor has blocks of 14 rooms, and each floor can hold 224 rooms in total. It explains that when entering a room from the main lobby, external conversations are no longer audible, creating a private gaming space for room members to decide on rules and chat. The article highlights that if there aren't enough human players, computer-controlled characters will join to fill in, offering varied personalities. Screenshots show the in-game map, room selection menus, chat interfaces, and mahjong gameplay itself, emphasizing the live feeling of playing with others online. This page is all about the Dreamcast game Guru Guru Onsen. It highlights the mahjong game within it, emphasizing how you can freely customize the rules to your liking and enjoy multiplayer. The game features network play guides named Hack-chan and Ten-chan, described as legitimate idol types, and offline play guides Ron-chan and Chi-chan, portrayed as a Kansai comedy duo. The page also discusses the visual memory, VM, unit's use in multiplayer, allowing players to look at the VM screen to keep their hands hidden in card games like mahjong and trump. Finally, it introduces a quirky fortune-telling feature called Kotori Urani, or bird fortune-telling, which can be downloaded to the VM. This minigame lets you get your fortune read, and even do compatibility readings between 2 people using their VMs. It's presented as a lighthearted and portable fortune-telling experience. This page features a preview for the Dreamcast game Revive Sosei, which translates to Revive Rebirth. It's an adventure game developed by Tokyo Character Show. The preview highlights the game's story, which revolves around a character named Nozomi, who comes to live with the protagonist 11 years after a tragic event that took their parents. The article discusses the mystery surrounding Nozomi and her past, as well as the protagonist's feelings about living with her as a new sister. Screenshots show in-game dialogue and character art of Nozomi in different scenes. The game's demo was available on a GDROM, given out at the Tokyo Character Show, and allows players to experience the opening of the story up to the point where they enter a mysterious laboratory. The page also mentions a character goods souvenir present being given away, which includes posters, trading cards, decals, and a bag. Finally, it advertises a Dreamcast CD Portrait 1 release date for August 27th and a Dreamcast event called Summer Battle 2 on August 10th, featuring live events and talk shows. This page focuses on the Dreamcast game Fell Me, reviewing the beginning of its story. It details 3 key scenes. Scene 1 shows 3 characters talking on a beach, where the protagonist encounters Kiharuna and Nao, seemingly concerned about him. Scene 2 depicts the protagonist waking up from a nightmare, mentioning Kiharuna was there earlier. Scene 3 is set outside a research institute at sunset, described as eerie, with closed shutters. Gameplay details are revealed in the Trap of the Mansion section, showcasing inventory management and item usage within a seemingly dangerous mansion setting. Another scene, Good at Athletics, shows a character falling into a pit, suggesting potential action or trap avoidance elements. The page also features an interview with singer Chihiro Yonakura, discussing her song Truth, which she wrote for Fell Me, describing it as perfectly matching the game's mood and highlighting its string arrangement. Screenshots from the FLME promotional video are also featured, promoting the game's release and her involvement. This page showcases the upcoming Dreamcast title D2, which is an action RPG scheduled for release on November 18th and will be on 4 GDROM discs. The page details the battle system, highlighting that items can be used during battles, and explains a view change system where the viewpoint dynamically adjusts to follow enemies, controllable with the B button. It also covers the encounter system, emphasizing that enemy encounters are real-time demos, not pre-rendered movies, and that these encounters vary based on factors like location, time, and weather. The developer comment expresses excitement about the monster animations and gameplay, hinting at more information at Crazy Expo 99. Screenshots depict in-game battle scenes, user interface elements, and character models. This page details a detailed report on weapon changes and other gameplay mechanics in what is likely Resident Evil code. Veronica. The article explains that weapon changes happen in real time during battles, adding an element of risk because time does not stop when selecting a new weapon. It advises players to be strategic about when they switch weapons, as enemies will continue to attack during this process. Weapon changes are performed using the R button, as demonstrated by switching to a submachine gun from a handgun. The page also introduces a rifle specifically for hunting, separate from combat weapons. This rifle is available from the start in hunting areas and has a scope for spotting distant animals. Furthermore, the article describes how ammo and items are supplied. Ammo, like health recovery items, is considered an item and can be found in places like small huts and scattered across fields. These items can be hard to spot in the snow, so players are advised to search carefully. Small huts can contain around 5 to 6 items. Finally, the page explains the experience point system. Defeating enemies grants experience, which is accumulated to level up. Leveling up increases the character's HP and other skills, improving basic abilities. Screenshots show the experience gained and the character leveling up after combat. This page previews Marionette Company for the Dreamcast, a game where you create and interact with marionette girl robots. The focus is on communication and customization with your marionette. The page uses a replay format to illustrate gameplay flow, system mechanics, and story progression up to the middle stages of the game, highlighting that there are 3 sub-heroines. The preview details the story of a salaryman who becomes a technician to fix a discarded marionette he finds. It showcases gameplay elements like events and conversations that affect the Kizuna value, a measure of relationship depth with the marionette, which is raised by event completion. A character profile for Mai Kagari is featured, describing her as a beautiful girl who has been hospitalized long-term and is difficult to cure. She is voiced by Kotono Mitsuishi. Her stats are listed as height, 153 centimeters, weight, 38 kilograms, measurements, 705,576, age 18. The game is described as a situation adventure with visual memory compatibility, scheduled for release in October, with the price yet to be determined by developer Microcabin. The developer's message mentions love endings and encourages players to try the game. The completion percentage meter shows 82%. This page showcases the game Marionette Company and its romantic complications. The page highlights the storyline where the protagonist's happy days with Marionette are disrupted by a love rival. The character Kono Sonoko is featured with her profile details: height 158 centimeters, weight 45 kilograms, and age 17. Sonoko's profile mentions her charming personality, good looks, and that she is a marionette who is gradually becoming more human-like. The game system emphasizes system check and choose carefully mechanics, where player choices influence the Kizuna value and the story's direction, affecting whether you win the heart of the girl. Another character, Ayoshima Aiko, is introduced as a love rival. Her profile states she is 163 centimeters tall, weighs 50 kilograms, and is 23 years old. Aiko is the protagonist's ex-girlfriend from university days who still holds feelings for him, creating a tense love triangle with Sonoko. The text describes Aiko as a childhood friend type and hints at her straightforward personality, contrasting with Sonoko. The screenshots illustrate dialogue scenes and choices within the game, suggesting a narrative-driven experience focused on relationships and navigating romantic dilemmas between the marionette Sonoko and the returning ex-girlfriend Aiko. This page is a preview for the Dreamcast game in the Tsuchipai series, focusing on creating idle mahjong players. The game features two main modes, story and making, promising double the fun. The scenario mode lets players choose a partner to play mahjong against, progressing through the story by winning matches. This installment is described as a genuine evolution, with significantly improved graphics and sound, offering an original story different from the arcade version of Tsuchipai 2i. The game also includes manga demo scenes, which are dialogue sequences between characters that now feature animated movies. The game, developed by Jaleco, is 90% complete and scheduled for release in September, with both a regular edition and a limited first edition that includes a drama CD. The advert highlights the high resolution and beautiful animation, powered by a specially created playback program. This page introduces the character making system in a Dreamcast game, allowing you to create your own fighter. It highlights the making mode, where you can customize a fighter-type mechanoid named Curia. You collect parts to customize Curia by winning mahjong battles in the game's town. The page emphasizes the vast number of parts available, including clothes, shoes, and even bust size. The coach role is filled by Miyazaki Kyoko, designed to assist mahjong beginners. The screenshots display the mahjong gameplay and customization menus. It mentions that Curia has different personality types, with alpha type being described as standard and normal. The customization menu allows you to select various options to change Curia's appearance and equipment. This feature-rich customization system appears to be a key selling point of the game, offering a deep level of personalization for your mahjong fighter. This page is all about the Dreamcast version of Dancing Blade Kateni Momotaru 2, Tears of Eden. It announces the game's port to the Dreamcast, emphasizing that the secret of Princess Peach's birth will finally be revealed. The game, developed by Konami, is set to be released on September 30th for 5,800 yen. It is described as an interactive anime and boasts a 100% completion rate in its development. The Dreamcast version is said to include about 5 minutes of extra scenes not found in the PlayStation version, bringing the total movie volume to 75 minutes, all in high-quality Dreamcast visuals. The page hints at two main story arcs. The first, Peach's true identity as a princess from a foreign land, describes Momohime working part-time before encountering a giant floating ship, the New Willow Palace, and messengers from a foreign land, setting up her destiny as a princess. The second arc, Guided by the Dragon You Helped, Dragon Palace arc, tells of Momohime helping a dragon and being invited to the Dragon Palace, where she discovers a plot by the Dragon Demon King. This arc features themes of love with the Dragon Princess and conflicts against the Dragon Demon King. It sounds like a fun mix of adventure and romance, classic for the series. This page showcases a preview for the Dreamcast horror adventure game Carrier, set to be released in autumn and published by Jaleco. The game is about investigating monsters on a giant aircraft carrier named Heimdall. The preview highlights the game's progress at 68% completion and categorizes it as an adventure title. The page introduces several monster types players will encounter, including Mantis, reborn using ARC technology, described as insect-like and incorporating human DNA. It uses its sharp claws to attack. Hopper, a plant-based monster with agile movements, found in swarms, making battles challenging. Spoa, a life form born in dark places from the fusion of dead flesh and spores. It attacks with its large arms. Vice, a water-dwelling creature that parasitizes corpses using arc technology, possessing sharp teeth for hunting prey. The screenshots depict gameplay environments within the aircraft carrier and close-ups of the monster designs. The text emphasizes the terrifying nature of the creatures and the challenging gameplay awaiting players. The game is described as taking place up to the 4th deck of the giant aircraft carrier. This page showcases 2 upcoming games for the Dreamcast. First up is Dream Bacon 99 Internet, a horse racing simulation and prediction title. It's touted as a comprehensive analysis tool, utilizing a massive database of past JRA races and information, letting players analyze and predict race outcomes. The game will feature downloadable data updates and online capabilities. Screenshots show betting interfaces and in-game race footage, highlighting names like Grass Wonder and Air Jihad. The game is currently at 70% completion. The second game featured is Golf Yarouz, known internationally as Let's Golf. This is presented as the Dreamcast's debut golf title, boasting multiple game modes including a World Tour and free round mode. It will support online play for up to 4 players to compete on dedicated online courses. The game emphasizes its detailed character models, using 40,005,000 polygons and dynamic camera angles. It's also stated that the game covers the basics of golf gameplay.
Let's Golf is also at 70% completion in development.
This page is a Dreamcast Soft Complete Guide, showcasing various games with their page numbers. It seems to be focused on sports and adventure titles. Featured are Let's Make a Pro Baseball Team on page 52, Frame Gride on page 60, Key to E, Photo Memories, to the north, Photo Memories on page 64, Buggy Heat on page 68, and Giant Graham, All Japan Pro Wrestling 2 in Nippon Budokan on page 70. These page numbers likely indicate where more detailed information about these Dreamcast games can be found within the magazine. To participate in the Yakyutsuku online baseball tournament, players must first acquire Tsukuro coupons using Drillum, a virtual currency. Drillum can be purchased with a credit card, Visa, Master, JCB, Nikos, or WebMoney card. 1 coupon costing 50 Drillum is required per tournament entry. The process involves 3 steps: obtaining a credit card or WebMoney card, purchasing Drillum through the Yakyutsuku homepage or Dream Passport 2, and exchanging Drillum for coupons on the Yakyutsuku homepage. WebMoney users scratch off a portion of the card for a code. A Sega provider user registration and passport registration, within a month of registration, are necessary. A Tsukuro password is required for coupon purchases and must be remembered for tournament use. This page announces the Yakyutsuku Tournament Dreamcast Magazine Cup, which is the first official Sega tournament for the game. The registration deadline is the 8th of August. Prizes for top players are listed, with the winner receiving 5 Dreamcast software titles and 5 VMUs. Other prizes include Dreamcast software and VMUs for runners-up. The page highlights important points for tournament participation, such as the need to bring saved game data on a visual memory unit, and that only 1 entry is allowed per Dreamcast console. The tournament is using game data up to March 1st of the 20th year in-game. DH, designated hitter, rules are disabled. There is also a player data table visible on the page, with names and positions typical of a baseball game, reinforcing that the tournament is for Professional Baseball Team Wo Tsukuru, which is known internationally as Baseball Pro Yakyu Team Wo Tsukuru. The next page is a strategy guide focused on maximizing player development during the February camp in a baseball game. It advises players on selecting the optimal camp location from options like local, domestic, Taiwan, and Guam, each with different costs and training menus. The guide details the benefits of each location, noting that local camps offer a base level increase, domestic camps improve morale, Taiwan focuses on technical skills, and Guam boosts physical strength. The page emphasizes experimenting with training methods to find what suits each player and team best, and highlights the inability to save the game until March, making effective camp training crucial. Sample player data tables for pitchers and fielders illustrate how different training regimes, such as physical, changeup, ball control, and mental training, impact specific player attributes. Player profiles are also shown to demonstrate stat variations based on training choices, underscoring the importance of tailored training for player growth in the game. This page is showing a training schedule chart for a Dreamcast baseball game, detailing weekly training menus for different locations: local, domestic, Taiwan, and Guam. The chart is broken down into categories for pitchers and fielders, focusing on specific training types like physical conditioning, change ball pitching, ball control and speed for pitchers, and hitting, running, and defense for fielders. Each location and week offers a different training regime, including options like special training, muscle training, long throw, bunt practice, dash, and rest. It appears to be a guide for players to optimize their baseball team's training within the game. The next page is a guide on how to train players during the 2-month camp in a baseball game, detailing special training options beyond just stat increases. The camp allows players to learn switch hitting, convert positions, and acquire new pitches. The switch section explains the benefits of training a player to become a switch hitter, which is advantageous against opposing pitchers. Convert training focuses on changing a player's position, like turning a pitcher into a fielder, useful for filling gaps in your team. New pitch type training lets pitchers learn new pitches to become more versatile on the mound, potentially learning up to 5 pitches. There's also a section about a mountain training camp event that can occur in February. This is described as a gamble. If successful, it greatly improves player abilities. But there's a risk of injury or wasted time if the player is not suited for it. The page includes lists of recommended players from each team who are suitable for crank, upgrade training, and switch hitting. These lists are categorized by team and list specific player names. This page is a guide focused on training equipment for players in a baseball management simulation game, likely Baseball Pro Yaku Team Otsukuru, which translates to Let's Make a Professional Baseball Team. It advises players to invest in training equipment as early as March to strengthen their team. The page details various training equipment available at different levels and their costs, including items like dumbbells and iron arrays, power ankles, tees, targets, training machines, mini hurdles, pitching machines, and growth gypsum. It demonstrates the effectiveness of using training equipment by comparing player stats with and without equipment, showing noticeable improvements in player abilities. The guide highlights the importance of pitchers' fixed abilities, specifically recovery and pitching stamina, explaining how these attributes affect a pitcher's role as either a closer or a starter. Lastly, it discusses the impact of city population and economic power on spectator attendance, using examples of Miyazaki and Tokyo Setagaya to illustrate how larger cities with stronger economies attract more fans to games. This page is about mastering scouting in a baseball management simulation game, likely from the Professional Baseball Team O Ajuru series. It emphasizes the importance of scouting for new talent early in the draft process. The page offers 2 key strategies. The first strategy, Way of Thinking 1, suggests initially focusing on the current scouting setup, especially if resources are limited. The second strategy, Way of Thinking 2, advocates for aggressive scouting to quickly improve the team's overall level by acquiring high-value players from the start, even if it means initial financial strain. The page also highlights the importance of focused scouting in specific regions to find desired player types. It details how to approach negotiations after a player is scouted, explaining that constant positive sentiment from scouts increases the player's willingness to negotiate. Finally, it provides a table outlining negotiation tactics across multiple rounds, suggesting strategies like power talk, praise, small talk, listen to worries, and promise the future, and how their effectiveness changes over negotiation rounds to successfully sign players. The next page is a list of names and their birthplaces. The title suggests it is showcasing the actual birthplaces of OB players, which could refer to alumni or veteran players, potentially related to a sports game feature, or a section highlighting people associated with the Dreamcast gaming community or professional gamers within the Dreamcast scene. It's a directory of names and their corresponding prefectures of origin in Japan. This page is a strategy guide for defeating the boss Sidronel in the Dreamcast game Frame Guide. It describes Sidronel as the ultimate enemy, a bioweapon from ancient times. The guide details 3 types of attacks Sidronel uses: the elemental song type, which involves firing multiple red homing projectiles and requires dashing to evade; the Framebird type, which is similar to the player's Framebird attack but much stronger and suggests moving horizontally and jumping to avoid; and the large diameter laser, which is a laser beam attack that circles the map counterclockwise and can be dodged by jumping. The guide provides screenshots to illustrate these attacks and the recommended countermeasures. This page is a strategy guide for fighting the boss Sidra Carinal in what appears to be Cyber Trooper's virtual Alon Oratorio Tangram. It recommends building a robust mech with high durability due to the confined battlefield and Sidra Carinal's powerful attacks. The mobility is less critical, and close combat is discouraged. Using a squeezier unit can be helpful to distract the boss. The guide emphasizes observing Sidranel's attack animations to predict and dodge effectively, particularly the Flamebird type attacks. Ranged combat with tracking projectiles is advised as Sidranel has a small hitbox on its torso and arms. Maintaining distance and using dash movements are key to survival. The battlefield is circular, and stage elements might sometimes block Flamebird attacks. While Sidranel can be fought repeatedly, the rewards are minimal, implying it's not very beneficial to farm this boss for rare items. This page is focused on explaining the attack patterns in the game Record of Lodos War, Deed Lit Saga. It details how both sword and punch attacks change based on elemental attributes. The page provides tables listing various sword types like Valmonk, Excalibur, Durandal, Gulveig, Answerer, Runemace, Mjolnir, and Mealmail, outlining their attack methods, elemental properties, attack power, and EN consumption for different attributes. It also breaks down punch attacks for light armor cavalry, main armor cavalry, and heavy armor cavalry, showing how attack power and EN usage varies, with elements like fire, water, wind, and earth. The article uses screenshots to illustrate gameplay and serves as a guide to understand the combat mechanics, specifically how attributes affect sword and punch attacks in Record of Lodos War, Deed Lit Saga. This page is a data summary for material collection in the game Frameguide. It outlines 3 ways to obtain materials. Firstly, materials can be collected by winning stages. The table shows different maps such as Dead Sand Wasteland, Fallen Shrine, Hidden Valley, Sunken Royal Castle, Silent Forest, Mountaintop Ruins, Abandoned Shrine, Night Practice Arena, Deep Hole, Lost Tower, Large Hole, Sky Palace, Abandoned City, Evil Spirit Shrine, and Milestone Tower. For each stage, a table lists the materials obtainable in 6 columns. Secondly, materials are dropped by destroying enemies called scythes. Another table lists various scythe enemy names, like Vilcus, Valros, and Celera, and many more, alongside the 5 columns of materials they drop. Thirdly, in the Abandoned City stage, materials can be gathered by defeating specific knights. A final table details knight names like Goldova, Cronea, Otrant, and others, with 3 columns showing obtainable materials. The page also features gameplay screenshots and an advertisement for the Frameguide official guidebook, highlighting its thorough coverage of data and strategy for Frameguide, and mentioning it's available for 1,300 yen and a present campaign. This page is about the Dreamcast game Key to E, White Illumination, Photo Memories, from Hudson. It is advertised as a mini-adventure game combined with an illustration collection, priced at 3,800 yen and released on August 5th. The feature focuses on the character Kotori Haruno and her story route within the game, set in Sapporo and Otaru. It mentions recreating date courses from the previous title, White Illumination, and emphasizes the choice-based gameplay and how decisions impact the story and relationships. The article lists key locations for Kotori's route, like the Clock Tower, former Hokkaido Government Office, and Odori Park, Yoichi Ranto Seaside Bathing Beach, Otaru, and Lake Shikotsu. Screenshots on the page showcase various in-game locations and dialogues you'll encounter during Kotori's story, including beach scenes, Otaru town settings, a church, the Clock Tower, and a lakeside location. This page from the Dreamcast Magazine presents a guide for a game featuring the character Ayu Kawahara, described as an entertainer who delivers a love song. The scenario is set in Abashiri National Park, Hokkaido, and focuses on different locations for dates with Ayu. The page highlights several spots. Abashiri Prison, presented as an unusual but interesting date location. A garden within the national park described as vast and beautiful with flowers. A beach scenario where the character expresses reluctance to leave. Lake Saroma at sunset, which is described as moving and inspiring for artists. And West Wakanai Seaside Bathing Beach, where swimsuits are mentioned. The guide emphasizes, that choosing the correct dialogue options during the game scenes is crucial to achieve the best outcome and get the best screenshots. It explains that each scene has 3 choice points, and making the right selections will lead to the best shot. The game is set in scenic locations in Hokkaido, and seems to be a visual novel or dating sim, where player choices influence the story and character interactions with Ayu Kawahara. This guide provides a walkthrough for achieving a good ending with Kozue Satonaka in the Dreamcast game Sentimental Graffiti. The guide focuses on key locations and scenarios in Kozue's route. It emphasizes the importance of understanding Kozue's character and providing appropriate responses to avoid her negative reactions. Specific sections detail interactions at Hidaka Ranch, a cape during sunset, and a beach scene where Kozue models her swimsuit and expresses vulnerability about its revealing nature. The guide stresses the significance of taking photos during certain poses to reveal Kozue's true personality, and warns against hesitating during photo opportunities. It also includes a riddle regarding a coastline walk, and poses a question about an animal resembling a phantom shell. This is a strategy guide for photo memories, focusing on Kaede Nagase. The guide emphasizes understanding Kaede's feelings is key to making optimal choices in various scenarios. These include heartwarming scenes with the main character's mother, comedic moments in Sankyo National Park, a date-like scenario at Sapporo SPA Land, and exploration of her personality during Daisetsuzan hikes. Sunset Red highlights a mature atmosphere balanced with Kaede's childlike side. The mountain summit emphasizes the beauty of the sunset. Each scenario features 3 choices, with the best option unlocking special images. Success in choosing all the best options results in the best photos and NOCC images in the gallery, rewarding players for perfect gameplay. This page is a strategy guide for the Dreamcast game Buggy Heat, focusing on the Peru course. It highlights that this course is technically challenging and prone to slipping due to the dirt and tire characteristics. The guide offers 4 key driving tips for specific sections of the track. 1. Sudden hairpin. Advises slowing down significantly at the large downhill hairpin turn immediately after the starting line to avoid spinning out. Approach from the left side and reduce speed to navigate the corner effectively. 2. Ancient Ruins Tunnel. Recommends taking a wide line on the left side before entering the tunnel section and then cutting into the inside of the corner after exiting. 3. Reduce speed before entering the tunnel and then accelerate after clearing the corner. 3. Water hazard between stone pillars. Instructs players to drive straight through this section, avoiding sharp turns. 8. It advises to approach from the left side of the course and slow down at the entrance of the corner to pass smoothly between the stone pillars. 4. Jumpless corner. Warns against jumping in this section and advises slowing down significantly before the corner. Drive straight through the light curve section and then reduce speed before the corner to prevent jumping. After exiting the corner, accelerate while correcting the steering to maintain control and avoid spinning. The page provides screenshots illustrating each tip in action within the game. It also lists the course statistics. Total length: 3,364 meters, maximum width, 76 meters, maximum height difference, 76 meters. This page is a strategy guide for the Japan course in an unnamed racing game for Dreamcast. The guide focuses on techniques for mastering the course, particularly hairpin turns and tunnel sections. The course is described as high speed, with 2 hairpin turns after straight sections, emphasizing the importance of speed control. The guide gives 5 key tips for navigating the course. 1. Don't drive on the dirt. While tempting to cut corners on dirt sections, it's faster to stay on the paved road for better speed. 2. Full throttle outside of hairpins. For all corners except hairpins, maintain full acceleration and aim for the inside line, being careful of slipping. 3. Early deceleration at the tunnel entrance. Reduce speed early before entering the tunnel curve as it tightens. Approach slightly from the right and then cut inwards. 4. Drifting through the tunnel hairpin. The hairpin inside the tunnel should be tackled by drifting. Brake and steer inwards as you see the exit. 5. Braking before the final hairpin. Brake before the last hairpin, adjusting with drift, and focus on corner exit to clear the corner at the correct position. The guide also mentions tuck-in as a technique for hairpin turns, explaining that applying acceleration while countersteering in hairpins can help control the car and turn inwards. It also introduces Super Expert Mode, which is unlocked by clearing Expert Mode in the Velsabub course. This page is a strategy guide for Giant Graham 2000. All Japan Pro Wrestling 3 on Dreamcast. The guide focuses on unlocking hidden wrestlers in the game by clearing winning streak mode under certain conditions. It reveals that hidden wrestlers can be unlocked regardless of the difficulty setting or by using continues. The article highlights original techniques and provides details on specific wrestlers such as Divine Grace, known for simple yet varied techniques, and grapple moves like Mount Punch and Sleeper Hold. Diapro is described as an aggressive fighter with powerful moves like the King Kong Dynamite Knee Drop. Tiger Arakishin is known for impactful throwing techniques like the build-up Driver Buster. There is also a Hot Spectator Mode section, explaining it as a mode where players can watch CPU matches and enjoy dream match scenarios. A Troubleshooting for CPU Matches section advises players to endure opponent attacks, counterattack, and manage distance effectively. The page includes appearance methods for unlocking wrestlers,
suggesting clearing winning streak mode without continues for Divine Grace, and raising popularity above 20,000 and clearing for Diapro. For Tiger Arakishin, it is mentioned to use a wrestler raised in training mode and clear winning streak mode. Overall, the page is a guide to help players unlock hidden content and improve their gameplay in Giant Graham 2000. All Japan Pro Wrestling 3.
This page is a strategy guide for learning techniques in a wrestling game, likely Giant Graham 2000. It explains the difference between learnable and unlearnable moves and gives tips on how to learn moves effectively, especially corner post and ground moves, highlighting the importance of attack skills. The guide lists examples of learnable techniques and their button inputs, as well as a set of unlearnable techniques specific to certain wrestlers such as Mitsuharu Misawa, Toshiaki Kawada, Akira Taue, Kenta Kobashi, Stan Hansen, and Vader, and their signature moves that cannot be learned by the player. The section titled Road to Top Wrestler outlines a career mode, detailing stages like gaining strength, facing rivals, and aiming for an arcade debut. Gameplay screenshots illustrate the wrestling action. This page is an advertisement for job recruitment at Climax Graphics for Dreamcast development staff. They are looking for programmers and planning planners for a project codenamed JBS. The job involves Dreamcast game programming and planning, including game specifications and map design. Requirements include experience and the advertisement details, working conditions, salary, benefits, application process, and contact information for interested applicants, mentioning a deadline of August 31st. This page is the Reader's Dream Corner section of the magazine. It's a collection of reader submissions and questions. One reader talks about enjoying the Dreamcast and playing Soul Calibur, and mentions wanting Dream Passport 2 and playing Sonic. Another reader asks about the phrase na mekau, which is explained as meaning licking and becoming silly. There's a question about buying a Dreamcast for under 20,000 yen and using regional promotional tickets. Another reader describes their room being full of Dreamcast stuff, including Dreamcast Magazine, software, the console, a 14-inch TV, and an arcade stick, and needing help as they can't study. Someone else mentions buying a Dreamcast on release day. Another reader had a dream about seamen pulling out all their teeth and saying, "Next is the tongue!" and feeling terrified.
There's a comment about Siemens CM being too realistic. Finally, a reader held a Street Fighter II Third Strike tournament at their part-time job, which was surprisingly popular, and they're considering doing a DES 2 tournament. They also mentioned playing with visual memory units and licking the connectors, breaking them. This page features various fan contributions, including artwork and comments. One submission includes Art of Alucard, praising Devil City and mentioning Angelique. Another depicts Adoru and references After Devil Force and Compile games. A third focuses on a female character, expressing interest in a Dreamcast port of Lost World, Jurassic Park, and a new Phantasy Star title. Other artworks show a cyborg, a humorous cartoon strip, Today Too Cool, and a bikini-clad girl snowboarding. An illustration garden section seeks submissions around themes like eating and autumn. Additional art includes a Chun-Li-inspired character fighting a dragon, and admiration for espionage and Bayumon. Small contributions also feature robots, stylish men, and a chibi character named Patty. This page is a fan submission page and question and answer section. In the Ask Cat section, reader questions are answered with playful cat puns, covering topics like whether text-only submissions can win prizes, and questions about word meanings and favorite foods. Sisters Chit Chat Corner includes fan art and messages, featuring Tales from Sonic Adventure. There is a deluxe pack parody manga section, seemingly a humorous comic strip riffing on the game compilation deluxe pack,
and the shooter series, Parodius. The page also features a summer horror special feature, showcasing fan-created horror content inspired by various games. Screenshots and illustrations related to the House of the Dead, Nightmare Creatures, D, and even JoJo's Bizarre Adventure are shown, highlighting horror themes in fan submissions. This page showcases the reader submission section of Dreamcast Magazine, titled Gulgul Power's Release District Declaration. It's filled with reader-created content and fan art. The Gulgul Comics section features comedic comic strips submitted by readers. One strip, titled Human Help Angry Shoutgun Shooting, seems to be a humorous take on action games. This week also Ran Musical Note presents another set of reader-created comics. One comic, titled Hiroshi is Concerned About Heart Disease, features a character in a comical situation with knives, with mentions of Prince, and TV Tower is Eco Tower, possibly referencing running jokes or popular culture at the time. The Nice Chayo Garden section is dedicated to fan art. One piece is titled I Heart KO Space War Edition, showing drawings of creatures reminiscent of KO from Sonic games, but styled in a Star Wars theme, referencing Space War movie, and mentioning Lucas and Toad. Overall, this page highlights the creative contributions from Dreamcast Magazine readers, featuring their comics and fan art inspired by games and popular culture. This page is a retail advert for a store called Santa, advertising new and used games for Dreamcast and Saturn, as well as MD, RF, and games for kids. The advert lists a large number of games with prices, categorized by console and new or used status. For Dreamcast new releases, titles like Air Force Delta, Climax Landers, and Soul Calibur are listed. Dreamcast used software includes games like Sonic Adventure and Resident Evil 2. Saturn new software features titles like Cotton 2 and Golden Axe, The Duel. Saturn used software lists games like Virtua Fighter 2 and Daytona USA. The advert also includes sections for Mega Drive software, RF software, games for kids, Saturn peripherals, and Game Gear peripherals, with prices listed for all items. It also provides store information like phone and fax numbers, address, opening hours, and details on how to order, payment, and shipping costs. This page showcases a manga review section titled Habit Bad from the magazine, focusing on Kazuho Makoto's unique take on Ultraman. It highlights the resurgence of manga reprints and dives into the distinctive qualities of Makoto's Ultraman manga, emphasizing that it's not based directly on the original TV series. The article points out that this manga is a Kazuho Makoto version, different in flavor from Ishinomori Shotaro's Kamen Rider manga. It mentions that editors commissioned manga artists, and Makoto's style clashed with the source material in a novel way, creating something new. The Baltan character in Makoto's manga is described as particularly frightening, depicted as transforming into a giant monster by consuming gasoline and electricity at night, a concept not present in the original TV show. The manner of drinking gasoline is likened to a ghostly cat licking lamp oil, adding to the eerie atmosphere. The reviewer recalls their childhood fright at reading this manga, particularly the Baltan, with dark circles under its eyes consuming oil, creating a nightmarish image. The article concludes by noting that other notable manga works, like Kazuhiko Osei's Ultraman, feature original monsters such as Yamaton and cyborg monsters, further highlighting the creative liberties taken in these Ultraman manga adaptations. Panels from the manga are shown depicting Ultraman battling classic monsters like Red King, Chandlar, and Magura. The episode title, Episode 5, Northward Return, is featured along with a manga panel showing a train and characters within the Ultraman manga storyline. This page is a news article focused on the Ultraman manga series by various authors. It highlights several volumes, including Ultraman Volume 1, which emphasizes the expressive nature of Ultraman in the manga, particularly his mouth expressions, unseen in the TV series. Ultraman Volume 2 introduces an original monster called Yamaton, praising its unique design. Ultra 7 Volume 1 recommends the Ella King appearance, noting its impressive design and the aerial battles. Ultra 7 Volume 2 praises the overall monster designs in the series. Finally, it mentions Ultraman Brothers story and other Ultraman manga, referring to a different Ultraman narrative featuring characters such as Baltan Seijin, Magma Seijin, Cyborg Baltan Seijin, Black King, and Gua, positioning these manga as extensions of the broader Ultraman universe that are worth exploring. This page is a manga strip titled Samsung Yoshimatsu Theater, with the subtitle, Sega games are the best in the world. The manga is a humorous take on Sega and Dreamcast-related topics. The strip begins with a character resembling a Dreamcast console being excited about email, specifically from a Mr. Stone who is described as an old man. The Dreamcast character is eager to receive and send emails. The story continues, with the Dreamcast character being depicted as a heavy smoker, with a cigarette labeled tobacco, suggesting a rebellious or mature persona. The character states that they will reform themselves and quit smoking. In the next panels, there is a scene depicting a character in a bikini drawn in a simplistic manga style, possibly representing a game or a concept related to Sega. This character is referred to as Katie, and there is laughter associated with this character. The final panel shows the Dreamcast character offering a special price of 10,000 yen for something, possibly a product related to Sega, with the phrase, "Today only." The manga concludes with a sense of humor and promotion. The bottom text provides information about the author, Samsung Yoshimatsu, stating he was born in Osaka in 1965 and is a famous creator in the world of anime games. He started Samsung Yoshimatsu Theater in September for publications like Comic Dragon and Sega Saturn, and is planning to release a collection of his works soon. This page is a column titled Black or Column by Fumio Kurokawa, focusing on the topic of master up in game development and delays, specifically regarding Shenmue Chapter 1, Yokosuka. The author discusses the Dreamcast's capability, stating that games like Capital High Battle, likely a metaphor for high-quality Dreamcast games, not a specific title, demonstrate what the system can achieve, even comparing it favorably to the upcoming PS2. He mentions that Sega internal development titles are lacking compelling content, while third-party titles for Dreamcast are being backed up. He also highlights the upcoming release of Soul Calibur, at the time of writing, and Baseball 2000, which was initially planned for July but got delayed. The article touches on the development process, the importance of meeting deadlines, and the author's observations on Sega's development culture, referencing his past involvement with the Virtua Fighter series and Sega AM2. He talks about his experience with promoting games like Virtua Racing and Virtua Fighter 2 on the Saturn, and notes the delays affecting Shenmue, stating that while delays are common, he hopes Shenmue will not be excessively delayed and maintains its quality. The author's profile at the bottom indicates he was born in 1960 and has worked in the music and film industries before joining Sega AM2 to work on promotional activities, particularly for the VF series and software companies. This page is an anime preview section focusing on Betterman Volume 1, an anime from the creators of Gao Gaigar, scheduled for release on August 25th. It highlights the animation as a new sensation and provides details on the DVD and LD release, priced at 5,800 yen. The page introduces several key characters. Kotaro Someya, a second-year high school student involved with the Algernon phenomenon. Ayame Hinoki, Kotaro's childhood friend, described as a conscious person one with special abilities. Saya Konro, a telepathic girl who uses special equipment for her powers. Omid, a mysterious being who appeared before humanity, possessing the power to adapt to her environment and transform. Betterman Nebula, Lamia's transformed state after eating Nebula fruit, capable of emitting a psycho voice. Conscious Person Number 1, a humanoid robot developed by Akamatsu Industries with 2 cockpits for analysis and attack. The story section outlines 2 episodes. Episode 1, Yami Yamage, focuses on Kotaro and Ayame investigating a mass murder case, leading to Ayame piloting Conscious Person Number 1 and encountering Betterman. Episode 2, Kokoe, Kotaro, escaping danger, teams up with Ayame and Conscious Person Number 1 to learn about the Algernon phenomenon and Modi Warp. The topics section mentions events at Comic Market 56 from August 13th to 15th at Tokyo Big Sight, showcasing various company booths and merchandise, including booths for WOWOW, Sky Perfect TV, Anime Theater X, Keiheisu Hanbai, Kamiya Ken Den Seisaku Inkai, and SoftBank Publishing/GameSpot. August brings a wave of anime and movie releases on Japanese satellite channels. DVD releases include Blue Submarine No. 6 Volume 3, Ghost in the Shell, Saber Marionette J to XACT9, and Macross. Do You Remember Love? Available for rental are Guardian Angel Geaton and the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie. Yume no Crayon Kingdom Volume 16, Revolutionary Girl Utena Apocalypse 8, Pet Shop of Horrors, and all-purpose cultural cat girl Nuku Nuku 123 also hit the market. Furthermore, Neo Ranga is airing free on WWW, and Goshu the Cellist is being broadcast on DirecTV. The next page features a section called Picture Dojo. This segment is presented as a Paradise Chef recipe and focuses on pixel art. The theme is accent in character design. It discusses how challenging it is to represent characters fully in small pixel art and emphasizes the importance of key points to make characters recognizable. The page shows examples of a female character in pixel art and explores how adding details like glasses or hair ornaments can change the impression. It suggests that even with limited pixels, adding key features can create distinct characters, referencing the examples of a teacher or doctor achieved simply by adding glasses. There is also a column titled Unfathomable Game Industry, which recounts a story heard from a friend about a strange event at a game company. The story involves a phone call from someone claiming to have purchased Microsoft and needing help with Windows 95. The anecdote highlights the baffling nature of user support calls, even within the game industry, and mentions that user support phone lines often receive strange and confusing messages. This page is showcasing reader submissions of pixel art. Several examples are shown, each with a pixel art image, the submitter's name and prefecture, and a short critique or comment. Games mentioned in the critiques include Ojaru Maru, Sakura Wars, Kita-e, to the north, D2, Professional Baseball Team, Otsukuru, Let's Make a Professional Baseball Team, Seaman, and Jirei no Yabu, Jiren's Ambition. The comments give feedback on aspects like character likeness, use of color, and composition. There's a daughter introduction section focusing on Yasuda Movie Company, described as a freelance game artist who creates character sprites, effects, monsters, and more, with works including Gran Historia, Meltilancer, and Terra Fantastica. Yasuda Movie Company also provides a comment about Perfection, mentioning Command Talir and Koneko Chantachi, and asking about the state of art. Finally, there is a section detailing how to submit artwork, asking for submissions to be sent by postcard or letter to the Dreamcast Magazine editorial department, and inviting feedback, questions, and encouragement messages. This page is an advertisement for the SoftBank Publishing Dreamcast Campaign 99, promoting strategy guides for Dreamcast games. The campaign period is from August to the end of September 1999. The advert lists stores participating in the campaign across various regions of Japan, from Hokkaido to Okinawa. Customers can apply by attaching an application ticket to the designated form and sending it to SoftBank Publishing. This page is an advertisement for a special campaign related to purchasing strategy guides, where customers can apply using tickets attached to the book covers to win various prizes. Prizes include a WonderSwan handheld console, a GameSpot two-way bag, Neoranga trading cards, and QUO cards worth 1,000 yen. The advertisement highlights upcoming strategy guides for several games, including Echo Knight No. 2, The Lord of Nightmares, Atom the Double Factor Secret File, Neon Genesis Evangelion, Angel Raising Project, SD Gundam Emotional Jam, Climax Landers, Mama Takijin, Season of the Labyrinth, and SD Gundam G Generation Zero. The bottom right of the page lists numerous bookstores participating in this campaign across various regions. This document is a contents page for a questionnaire and magazine issue. The questionnaire, located at the top left, collects reader information like demographics, Dreamcast ownership details, software preferences, and favorite articles. The document includes 3 lists. Hardware list covers consoles and PC components. Dreamcast software list provides a comprehensive list of Dreamcast games. And this issue's articles list the magazine's featured articles and columns. This software list is particularly extensive, featuring a wide range of genres. The next page showcases a manga comic strip for the game Evolution, The World of Sacred Device, specifically Episode 16, created by Ueda Yasu. The comic depicts scenes with the main characters in humorous situations and action sequences. On the right side of the page, character introductions are provided. Mag Launcher. Mag Launcher is described as part of a family lineage of battle. Cray Need is introduced as the caretaker who has served the Launcher family for many years. Lived. Linear Canon is mentioned as carrying a letter from Mag's missing father. At the bottom of the page, the game titles Evolution, The World of Sacred Device, and its sequel Evolution 2, Far Off Promise, are highlighted. This page is an advertisement for Dreamaga GD Volume 2, a 2-disc set for Dreamcast Magazine readers. It boasts 3 titles GDROM, all you can play, and highlights it's finally a 2-disc release.
The 2 games explicitly shown on the discs are Cool Borders, BURRRRN,
and Soul Calibur. The page emphasizes that these are playable demos, allowing players to experience the motion of the games that screenshots can't convey, thanking the development staff for creating these demo versions. It also includes instructions on how to use the GDROM, mentioning it is inserted into the center binding of the magazine, and some troubleshooting tips for if the software doesn't run, and how to select DISC1 from the menu. This document details 3 game demos included on GDROM discs, accompanying a magazine. Disc 1 features Cool Borders Burn, a snowboarding game with arcade stick and rumble pack support, and Buggy Heat, an off-road racing game. Cool Borders allows players to experience a course with 2 characters, while Buggy Heat offers a taste of off-road racing with 1 course and car. Disc 2 includes a Soul Calibur demo, a highly anticipated fighting game praised with a perfect score. This demo supports VGA compatibility. The document also provides usage precautions for the GDROM, cautioning against using standard CD players and emphasizing careful handling. Finally, it includes copyright information, notes about development status, contact information, and specific details on the use of VGA compatibility and fonts. This page is focused on the Dreamcast game Cool Borders Burn. It explains the game flow, which is a standard selection process of mode, character and board, and course. The game modes available in the demo are Free Ride and Super Pipe. The page then details the different types of snowboards in the game: all-round, freestyle, and alpine. The demo version only allows players to use the all-round board type. It highlights that all-round boards are usable in the demo and describes 2 variations. One with a military-style design that is described as easy to use overall, and another pink board design, which is described as cute and having the best acceleration and top speed among all-round boards. Boards that are not usable in the demo version are also shown. These are freestyle boards, described as good for tricks and jumps, and alpine boards, which are for speed but have lower stability. The page also includes screenshots of the game menus and gameplay action. This page is a preview for Cool Borders Burn. It details the game's controls and introduces some playable characters. The controller layout section shows the Dreamcast controller and explains the functions of each button for in-game actions like stance change, board operation, trick input, jump, and edge control. The page also describes several trick commands including indie, mute, tail grab, method, melancholy, and tweaked, showing the button combinations required to perform them, such as downwards directional button and B button for tail grab, for example, along with brief descriptions of how to execute them. The Players section introduces 6 characters who are available in the demo version: Excel, Tia, Ronnie, Monica, DJ Ken, and Bob. Each character has a short profile describing their personality and background, along with star ratings for their speed, trick, jump, and power stats. For example, Excel is described as a speed enthusiast who loves women, liquor, and rock and roll, while Tia is described as a bright and cheerful girl who loves techno and outdoor raves. This page is a playing guide for Course 1 of a snowboarding game, likely from the Cool Borders series, although the title on the page is Mountain Review. It provides a walkthrough from the start to the goal, highlighting key trick areas along the way. The guide starts by advising players to immediately use the A button for an ollie jump to reach the first trick area, emphasizing performing tricks for extra time. Moving from trick area 2 towards a cliff, it suggests using ollies to jump and perform tricks while being mindful of obstacles and cliffs. After the cliff, the course opens into a free run area, encouraging players to aim for gates and attempt tricks on rooftops. The guide even suggests trying to jump between rooftops for combo opportunities. This area is described as allowing for freestyle snowboarding enjoyment. A one-point advice section focuses on spin tricks, explaining that they are easy to execute by using direction buttons during ollies to perform side flips and flips. These spin tricks are described as easy to pull off and good for combining with other tricks to earn high scores. The page also includes a diagram of the course layout with marked trick areas, gates, and the goal, alongside screenshots demonstrating gameplay in various sections of the course, displaying scores and trick names. This guide provides tips for the snowboarding game Cool Borders, BURRRRN. Section A focuses on a trick area after a bridge, recommending wide turns and an ollie. Section B advises using a half-pipe-like section for tricks. Section C details a signboard obstacle that unlocks an optional route with a longer trick area. Section D covers a cave section with falling rocks, emphasizing wide lines and minimal edge breaking. Finally, Section E describes the final trick area, with steps and an uphill climb, advising players to focus on big tricks for points. A one-point advice section highlights the trial version's difficulty, urging players to prioritize consistent tricks for extra time, especially in straight sections and trick areas. This page focuses on tips for the Dreamcast game, Super Pipe. The page highlights key points for performing continuous tricks, noting the importance of approach angle to the vertical pipe, aiming for a speed of 90 km per hour or more, taking a long ollie for spins, and landing tricks successfully. It also mentions that depending on the tricks performed, the background music changes dynamically, becoming more exciting with successful combos and diminishing with failures, creating a dynamic and rhythmic gameplay experience. There is also an interview section titled, Special Interview Completion! In the interview, Ken and Nami talk about the game's music and character design. Ken explains that for the character design, visual image and music were key. Nami mentions the characters were created to align with the music's image, and the music genres are diverse, not just one genre. They describe the music as having various tastes within techno, even comparing it to Warp Records style techno and universal techno. They explain that the music is designed to react to the player's tricks, creating an exciting and rhythmic feel, and that this music gimmick was a core part of the game's design from the beginning, with the character creation stemming from the music itself. This page features the sound team interview for Cool Borders Burn on Dreamcast. The interview is with Yasuchika Shimomura and Atsunori Nanba, who discussed the sound creation for the game. Initially, the idea was to have button presses match the music, but it was decided that this would detract from the gameplay. The BGM for Super Pipe mode settled on techno music. They tried various genres for collaboration, but that made the system too complicated. They focused on the responsiveness of the sound to player actions, aiming for a call and response feel between the player's actions and the music. For example, a Rastaman-style character might have voice samples saying, "Ida!" when falling. They even used overseas voice actors for lines, encouraging improvisation to capture the right vibe. The sound team recommends character-specific BGM, sound effects focusing on realistic recording, and the Super Pipe mode, which they suggest checking out in replay. They mention the retail version will have more varied and enhanced sound compared to the trial version, including pop and speed-oriented BGM, encouraging players to look forward to the finished product. This page is about the Dreamcast game Lucky Heat, an off-road racing title. It highlights the time attack mode set in France. The page provides a controller layout explanation showing the function of each button for gameplay, including triggers for acceleration and braking, Y button for back, B button for handbrake, A and X for gear shifting, and analog and digital directional keys for steering. Gameplay advice is offered with screenshots, focusing on techniques for cornering and controlling drifts, emphasizing the importance of early and significant deceleration before corners, to avoid spinning out due to the lightweight buggy vehicles and powerful engines. It also explains how to countersteer when the tail slides out during cornering, adjusting the steering wheel and accelerator to maintain control. The game is presented as focusing on the unique feeling of driving on dirt, requiring players to master drifting and countersteering techniques. This page highlights the game Buggy Heat, emphasizing its core features. The first key point is the championship mode, offering intense races against CPU opponents alongside a time attack mode for record chasing. The game boasts a diverse range of courses and machines, with 6 distinct courses and 13 variations, including environments like a silver snow-covered world and Egyptian desert landscapes. Customization is a significant aspect, allowing players to tune their machines to their preference, including suspension and tire grip, alongside visual personalization options like painting and stickers. A standout feature is the driver training function, where the game AI learns from the player's driving style and can be used as an autopilot. This data can be shared online, enabling races against AI drivers trained by other players nationwide, promising online rankings and competitions. This page introduces Soul Calibur as the most interesting software on the Dreamcast right now, highlighting that this is a trial version. It emphasizes the high-quality graphics and responsive controls, suggesting it's approachable even for those unfamiliar with fighting games. Product details include developer Namco, currently on sale for 5,800 yen, a 3D weapon fighting action game, supporting Rumble Pack, VGA, arcade stick, communication, and two-player play. The page details game modes: arcade, VS Battle, Team Battle, Time Attack, Survival, Mission Battle, Museum, Practice, and Internet. Controller layouts are explained for both the standard Dreamcast controller and arcade stick, outlining button functions. Compatibility with Rumble Packs is also described. Screenshots showcase in-game action with characters Maxi and Nightmare. This page is a guide for Soul Calibur on Dreamcast. It details the basic controls, including the 8 WAYRUN movement system. The guide explains stances, stepping, and the 8 WAYRUN itself, showing how to move in all directions around an opponent. It covers attacks like vertical and horizontal strikes and kicks, and then moves on to defense, explaining high and low guards. Throwing techniques, jumping, and the soul charge mechanic are also described. The guide then explains guard impacts, how to receive attacks and recover after being knocked down, and finally, it provides command input instructions. This page is focused on providing advice for new players of Soul Calibur to understand the game mechanics. The first piece of advice is about differentiating between standing and crouching guards, explaining that different attack types like high, mid, low, and special mid attacks require different guard techniques. The page then details horizontal and vertical slashes, outlining the strengths and weaknesses of each. Horizontal slashes are good for evading and hitting opponents sideways, while vertical slashes are effective against crouching opponents. The next section explains the 8-way run system, highlighting its advantage in evading attacks and repositioning, but also noting its vulnerability to counterattacks. Finally, it recommends players check the command list within the game, describing it as easily accessible by pausing the game. The page showcases screenshots of gameplay and mentions playable characters like Xianghua, Shanfa in Japanese, Maxi, Taki, Ivy, Nightmare, and Astaroth, noting that these are default characters in the Versus mode and are good for players to practice with. This page introduces two characters from Soul Calibur, Maxi and Xianghua. Maxi, a pirate, is known for his nunchaku and stance system, making him accessible to beginners while rewarding players who master his techniques. His moveset includes a variety of attacks and stance changes, which are key to unleashing his full potential. Xianghua, the Mournful Traveler, is a fast and agile character with short reach, but effective at controlling the flow of battle. She has a high number of quick attacks, including the Seireka combination, and excels at stopping opponent movement and initiating attacks. Xianghua's 8-way run ability, mix-up potential, and playful techniques make her a dynamic and unpredictable fighter. This page is all about Soul Calibur Part 2. It announces a big special feature in the magazine about the game, with 32 pages dedicated across 2 consecutive issues. The page questions if the reader has already bought the game and emphasizes enjoying it 10 times more with this feature. It highlights all about Soul Calibur Part 2. The page is divided into 4 parts, covering different aspects of the game, from system analysis to character guides and developer secrets. There's a scoop section, revealing Edgemaster as a new playable character. He is described as Killick's Master, a mysterious person, and now available as a player character. The article mentions he can use all techniques from default characters, time-release characters, and even Cervantes. He is known as the Ultimate Master of the Sword. The page shows screenshots of Edgemaster in action, showcasing his first and second color variations. It also details Edgemaster's special technique called Mystic Move Genbu, explaining the button inputs and its function as a technique used by Killick, Mina, and Xianghua. Game information is also listed, stating Soul Calibur by Namco was released on August 5th, a 3D weapon fighting game priced at 5,800 yen for 1 to 2 players. It supports VGA, rumble features, arcade sticks, and uses 12 or more VM blocks. It also mentions an original opening movie being a highlight of the Dreamcast version, using in-game models and high-tech memory for impressive visuals and sound. This page is focused on Soul Calibur and highlights several gameplay aspects. Firstly, it introduces Extra Survival Mode, a harder version of the standard survival mode with sudden death rules if rounds are drawn. Secondly, it mentions that playing as Xianghua in Soul Calibur triggers a special unique appearance for Inferno during his intro sequence. Thirdly, the page details Mission Battle Mode, suggesting that players who are struggling to progress should review the opening instructions. It hints at secret passwords to help players, revealing the first password related to Stage of History, and mentioning internet access for more. The page then moves on to reveal the unlock conditions for 2 powerful characters, Edgemaster and Cervantes. Step 1 states that by clearing arcade mode with the default 10 characters, you can unlock time-release characters one by one. Step 2 explains that clearing arcade mode with all 10 default characters unlocks Cervantes as a playable character. Step 3 indicates that to unlock Edgemaster, you need to clear arcade mode with all time-release characters and Cervantes. The page emphasizes that in the Dreamcast version, there are a total of 19 playable characters, combining default, time-release, and Cervantes. This page is dedicated to analyzing the game system of Soul Calibur on Dreamcast, specifically focusing on command inputs. The article breaks down the intricacies of Soul Calibur's command system, explaining various input methods like hold input, where buttons are held down, slide input involving quick button presses, and additional input, which requires adding directional inputs after button presses. It also delves into advanced command input techniques, covering how commands work during 8-WAYRUN movement, and the concept of command advance input to buffer moves. A section is dedicated to explaining how to quickly transition from a crouching state back to standing to enable different attack options. The page uses screenshots to illustrate these command input concepts and techniques, helping players understand the depth of Soul Calibur's combat system. This page is an in-depth guide to understanding the wake-up game, or okizeme, in Soul Calibur. It explains the offensive and defensive options available after a character is knocked down. The guide breaks down the attacker's choices, such as attacking the downed opponent or anticipating their wake-up, and the defender's options, including waking up quickly, rolling to evade, or using a reversal. A key point highlighted is that simply guarding is not as effective in Soul Calibur, so evasion is crucial. There's a table detailing character-specific evasion directions, suggesting that certain characters are better at evading in particular directions. For example, Kilik is listed as effectively evading to the right, while Astaroth has no specific direction. Characters like Xianghua and Maxi are better at evading to the left. The page suggests trying to evade in the direction listed for each character when pressured. The page features screenshots from Soul Calibur to illustrate these combat scenarios and tactics. This guide details advanced Kilik gameplay in Soul Calibur, covering 6 skill-up techniques. These include using aerial combos followed by Fujin, ring-out strategies with throws and back attacks, continuous Wanpei attacks for close combat, Reimei Jin as a counter and chase attack, low attacks on wake-up with moves like Gairei Jin, and advanced Reimei Jin combos after guarded attacks. The guide also addresses countering opponents who use 8-way run. A CPU battle strategy suggests using Saimei attacks, soul charge cancels, and Wanpei, followed by low kicks in close range. Finally, an interview reveals Kilik's extensive motion capture process and the team's ambition to make him a world-class character. This guide provides 6 skills to master Nightmare in Soul Calibur. Firstly, utilize Chief Hold for evasion and attack setups. Secondly, leverage Nightmare's reach with moves like Terror Stomper to control space and pressure opponents. Thirdly, turn your opponent's guard into your advantage using Shadow Slicer to initiate pressure and mix-ups. Fourth, master cancels, particularly Maelstrom, for unpredictable mix-ups. Fifth, maximize damage with powerful combos utilizing moves like Backspin Slash, Dark Slash, and Crazy Backspin Slash. Sixth, punish guard impacts with Sky Splitter, followed by an air combo. The guide also addresses Nightmare's weakness in close combat, recommending footwork and quick attacks. Developers aim to create a character accessible to all skill levels, evolving Nightmare into a faster, long-range fighter. This guide focuses on playing Maxi in Soul Calibur, offering strategies for CPU battles. It breaks down gameplay into 6 skill-up points. These include mastering the wave dash for distance control and attack initiation, linking wave dash to stop attacks and launch combos, utilizing wave dash to transition into stances for specific moves, using sailboat bullet for offensive follow-ups, employing back nightlight insect for mid-range openings, and finally, introducing the concept of infinite loops through stance changes. A separate section, Staff's Making of Maxin, reveals the developer's intentions behind Maxi's design, highlighting his appeal, the evolution of his visual details from arcade to Dreamcast, and how fun and unique his dynamic fighting style is, making him accessible to newcomers. This page is a strategy guide for using Astaroth in Soul Calibur. It's part of a series on improving skills with basic characters. The page is titled Astaroth's CPU Battle 1-Point Strategy and Powerful Throwing Techniques to Dominate. It highlights 6 skill-up points to master Astaroth. Skill Up 1 focuses on confirming hits after throws using guard impacts. Skill Up 2 details how to effectively use the move Soulbolt. Skill Up 3 explains follow-up attacks using Sulfar and Lothius after counter hits or downs, suggesting Muzzlevisia for higher damage. Skill Up 4 discusses using Spindola to tempt opponents into spinning attacks and then counter-attacking with Kuklotheus Lion. Skill Up 5 covers powerful combos after guard breaks, using Elark Ario for unrecoverable stuns and Lodi Asphalt to Adi Ilbifa. Skill Up 6 provides countermeasures for opponents who run away, suggesting to approach with guard impact. There's a checkpoint section about overcoming Astaroth's weaknesses, specifically his slow startup moves, recommending guard impacts against faster attacks, and suggesting using backward steps to create distance, and then using Soulbolt. Finally, there is a Making of Astaroth section, an interview with the development staff discussing the design and concept of Astaroth, mentioning his initial villain aura, bald head, and large physique. This Xianghua strategy guide for Soul Calibur offers advanced gameplay tips across 6 skill areas. Skill Up 1 emphasizes distance control using Hukazan. Skill Up 2 details the Gurinkan attack, suggesting follow-ups with Seireka or Shobufukyaku. Skill Up 3 covers Dan Kondran, a mid-level close combat attack utilizing Fumikomi-zan and Haihuzan. Skill Up 4, Hard to Distinguish Techniques 1, focuses on Tosendu and Jirore, and how to counter opponents guarding against Tosendu. Skill Up 5, Hard to Distinguish Techniques 2, discusses Suibukyaku and Keikusashi, utilizing them for counter hits and guaranteed hits. Skill Up 6, How to Ring Out the Opponent, recommends techniques like Senpukyaku and Yuhoke to push opponents to the ring's edge, followed by Inaritsu for ring-outs. A staff interview discusses Xianghua's design, voice acting, and unique characterization. This guide provides tips for playing Sophicia in Soul Calibur on Dreamcast. For CPU battles, it suggests using Sword Shower frequently and following up with Angel Strike or Painful Fight. Sophicia's strength lies in her fast attacks. Skill Up points detail her techniques: reliable pursuit attacks, Shield Slap, Luminous Satellite. High damage follow-ups, Sword Flood. Movement restriction, Sword Shower. Closing the gap, Twin Step Grace. Effective counterattacks, Angel Strike. And pressure tactics, Angel Catalysis. It also advises on countering low attacks, Angel Satellite, and emphasizes throws, Arch Riding, to break guards. The guide stresses the importance of continuous attacks, even when guarded, particularly Sword Shower. This page is a strategy guide for the Dreamcast game Soul Calibur, focusing on the character Mitsurugi. It details 6 skill-up points to improve your Mitsurugi gameplay. Skill Up 1 emphasizes using standing attacks, particularly Fumikake, to control the opponent and initiate offense. Skill Up 2 is about reading the situation and using moves like Sorikane to adapt to the opponent's actions, especially at close range and during counter hits. Skill Up 3 advises on exploiting openings, recommending using Kabake or Fumikake after blocking an opponent's attack. Skill Up 4 discusses wake-up attacks, suggesting techniques to hit opponents as they get up from a down state, using Sorikane and Fumigari based on distance. Skill Up 5 focuses on wake-up offense using Inatsumaki, and following up with Kake if blocked, or Tsukikage if it hits. Skill Up 6 is about maximizing damage by using Sorikane for follow-ups, especially after high-damage moves like Kajihi. The checkpoint section highlights understanding Mitsurugi's weaknesses and adapting strategy based on the opponent. It notes, Fumikake, Fumigari, and Nibarai are important moves to master and use situationally, particularly against characters with long reach, who might be aggressive in mid-range combat. It also discusses adapting strategy based on character attributes, suggesting different approaches for characters strong in movement versus those with superior attack power. This page is a guide focused on mastering the character Taki in Soul Calibur. It offers gameplay advice for CPU battles, insights from the development staff about Taki's creation, and 6 skill-up tips for players to improve their Taki gameplay. The CPU battle advice suggests using a specific combo starting with the Juji to Yado to Seryu Yado stance, and then following up with Raryu So. For players struggling, it recommends utilizing the Kyusatsu mid-range attack. The staff interview talks about the motion team and how they aim to portray Taki as a ninja. The skill-up section details 6 techniques, Setsuna Zubami's hidden ability, Juji's application combo, Oki attack, Yado application combo, Yado Ken usage, and aerial combo aiming. The page emphasizes understanding Taki's hidden abilities and utilizing specific combos and stances to gain an advantage in Soul Calibur. This guide offers 6 skill-up strategies for mastering Ivy in Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast. Skill Up 1 highlights the importance of Might Atlas. Skill Up 2 focuses on maximizing damage after guard impacts. Skill Up 3 covers using Absence Screamer for counterattacks, followed by Keijiran Poplar. Skill Up 4 details additional attacks, recommending Restless Night Sparrow Row. Skill Up 5 explains strong continuous attacks with the enhanced Riot Ghost. Skill Up 6 emphasizes shape-shifting attacks, using Lament, Signy, and Pretty Vivienne. The guide also provides countermeasures against Ivy's 8 WAYRUN, recommending Noble Ghost as a counter. The guide includes screenshots and a checkpoint section to emphasize mastering Ivy's core gameplay and addressing her weaknesses. This guide focuses on mastering Voldo in Soul Calibur. It starts with CPU battle tips, highlighting the gate opener attack, and discusses the character's unusual design, encouraging combo creativity. The core of the guide details 6 skill-up techniques centered around Voldo's back-turn stance. These techniques cover combo strings, counterattacks, transitioning into back-turn, utilizing Mute Slash for knockdowns, and employing J-Lack for mid-level attacks. Skill-up techniques also address crouching attacks and integrating back-turn into the offense. A checkpoint advises players to avoid over-relying on the stance, adapt their strategies, and counter opponents effectively by using fast high attacks and sidestepping. The guide emphasizes adaptation to your opponent and reacting accordingly. The next page focuses on the character Wang Sung from the game's Soul Calibur. This page is titled Time Release Character, Wang Sung, Fiery Hot Warrior. It details how to unlock Wang Sung by clearing arcade mode as the first character. The page is presented as a character guide and lists representative techniques showing button inputs and attack types, as well as a command list table detailing various moves with their commands, attack properties, and notes. The profile section describes Wang Sung as on a journey to find Mina, sent by his lord to find the Sword of Salvation. The weapons section explains Wang Sung's weapon is the Shaoling Chinese broadsword, gifted to him by his master, Zhao Han Mian, and that his mission is not about the sword, but about finding Mina. The page highlights several special moves like Revolving Swallow Flash and Flowing Swallow Dance, and explains the properties of different attack types. This page is a character guide for Xianghua in Soul Calibur on Dreamcast, focusing on her fighting style and techniques. It highlights how to use air combos and counter-hit tactics to win matches with Xianghua. The guide emphasizes using her Heavy Claw Purgatory Point move in close combat to control the flow of battle and exploit openings. The page details her basic tactics for mid-range combat, stressing counterattacks and capitalizing on opponent mistakes. It also covers close combat strategies, suggesting the use of Heavy Claw Purgatory Point to gain an advantage. There are lists of her basic moves, running techniques, and throws, providing button commands and attack properties. The guide includes a section on her winning poses and character notes that describe the Silk Road stage as a central trade hub between Asia and Europe, a site of ancient ruins. Finally, a player's voice section mentions that in the arcade version, Xianghua was considered weaker, but in the Dreamcast version, she has been significantly strengthened, making her a more competitive character. The next page showcases Yoshimitsu, a character from Soul Calibur. It introduces him as the time release character and ninja mechanized ancestor. The page details Yoshimitsu's profile, explaining his background as a warrior seeking revenge after the downfall of the Oda Nobunaga clan. It mentions his weapon, the katana famous sword Yoshimitsu, Japanese sword. A significant portion of the page is dedicated to Yoshimitsu's command list, outlining various special moves and techniques. These are categorized by type, such as representative techniques, unique techniques, and techniques from stance. The representative techniques section includes moves like Kiriha, Gotu, Kugutsu, Ibuki, Kuchinashi, and Kyuka Geru. These are described with their inputs and properties. The unique techniques section includes moves like Tsuyubarai, Jiraiha, and Ninpo Owa Gura Gotoshi. The Techniques from Stance section lists moves that can be performed from specific stances, such as Azaguruma and Chigiri. The page also includes a section for running techniques, detailing moves executed while running. Screenshots from Soul Calibur are interspersed throughout the page, demonstrating Yoshimitsu in action and highlighting some of the moves listed. The page overall is a guide for players on how to utilize Yoshimitsu effectively in Soul Calibur. This page is a player's guide focused on Yoshimitsu in Soul Calibur for the Dreamcast. It provides tips and strategies for using Yoshimitsu effectively in mid and close-range combat. The guide highlights key moves like Ibuki and Kasumigata for mid-range and emphasizes the importance of using Yoshimitsu's Oni Kazushi in close combat situations, noting that it is a counterattack opportunity. It also details a combo using aerial attacks after launching the opponent. The page features screenshots of Yoshimitsu in action, demonstrating the described combat techniques. A table lists various Yoshimitsu's moves, their commands, attack types, and commentary notes, covering a wide range of offensive and defensive options. The player's voice section at the bottom offers insights into Yoshimitsu's strengths and weaknesses, acknowledging the character's complexity but highlighting his potential and fun factor, especially mentioning the new Thunderblade move and the Kyoka Enyo attack. There's also a section on Yoshimitsu's winning poses, showcasing different button inputs for various victory animations. The stage featured in the screenshots is described as Mount Fuji Summit Underground Water Vein. The next page focuses on the character Lizardman from Soul Calibur. It's part of a time-release character feature subtitled Warrior of Lament. The page details how to unlock Lizardman, stating he becomes available after clearing arcade mode 3 times. The page is divided into sections. Profile, which describes Lizardman's backstory as Aeon, a fallen knight seeking to destroy Soul Edge, and his transformation into a Lizardman. Weapon details his weapon of choice as a Kuti sword and game shield. The Lizardman command list shows a table of his moves with input commands and attack properties. There are also tip sections giving advice on how to play as Lizardman. Explaining his fighting style emphasizes swift attacks and maintaining distance, detailing key moves like lens strike, draft, double aegis swing, sinker spin kick, and reptile ramble, with descriptions of their properties and usage strategies. Screenshots accompany the move descriptions, showing them in action. This page is a guide for playing as Lizardman in the Dreamcast game Soul Calibur. It's part of a series called Time Release Character Perfect Guide. The guide focuses on Lizardman's combat tactics, specifically for aerial combos and mid-range combat. For aerial combos, it recommends using landing kick or weapon geyser as starting moves, followed by Mesa-style Grit Blast. For mid-range combat, the guide emphasizes using Grit Draft as a powerful move, even though it's slightly weaker in the Dreamcast version compared to the arcade. It also mentions using Lens Strike for quick attacks and Mesa-style Sinker Spin Kick or Grit Draft to control movement and close distance. The guide also covers close-range combat, stating it's Lizardman's forte, focusing on using Lens Strike as a primary attack and countering horizontal attacks like Grit Draft with horizontal moves. It also suggests utilizing throws and low attacks, like Tail-Base Carelint, if the opponent guards high frequently. There are sections with character notes mentioning Lizardman's second color variation and his stage, Kun Patuku Shrine. It also includes a section on winning poses, describing them as surprisingly tea-time-like. The bottom of the page features player's voice, commenting on Lizardman, noting that while he may seem weaker, he is still a strong and viable character in the Dreamcast version, able to attack aggressively. The page also includes move lists for Lizardman, with command inputs, categorized as basic moves and throw moves. This page is all about Siegfried from Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast. It's highlighting him as a time-release character and features a profile section discussing his background and motivations related to the Soul Edge sword and his past. It mentions his weapon is called Requiem, Zweihander. The page then details Siegfried's moves and techniques. It shows a command list with various moves like Sky Splitter, Shadow Slicer, Spin Kick, and Double Headbutt, along with their button inputs and properties like High Attack, Mid Attack, Low Attack. There are screenshots demonstrating some of these moves in action, providing visual guides on how they look in the game. The page seems to be offering tips on how to effectively use Siegfried in combat by mastering these moves. This Dreamcast Magazine character guide focuses on Siegfried in Soul Calibur. The guide details Siegfried's gameplay, with tips for mid-range combat utilizing moves like Shadow Slasher and Helmet Crusher, alongside aerial combos and defensive spin kicks. It advises on effective use of step and 8 WAYRUN for positional advantage. The guide also covers Siegfried's victory poses and color variations, noting the differences between his costumes and weapons. It introduces the Venice waterway stage and includes player feedback highlighting the appeal of his second color costume and new arcade version attacks. Detailed move lists, organized by stance and action, complete with commands, attack levels, and move properties, provide comprehensive gameplay information. This page is about the character Rock from the fighting game Soul Calibur. It's part of a character guide in Dreamcast Magazine. The page details Rock's profile, describing him as a wanderer, searching for a kidnapped boy named Banger. It mentions his weapon is the Apocalypse Battle Axe, and that he is a powerful character in the game. The page breaks down Rock's fighting style, emphasizing his strength and unique movesets which compensate for his lack of projectile attacks. It highlights key moves like Bear Fang, a versatile attack useful in various situations, Shoulder Tackle, which is similar to Astaroth's Shoulder Bolt, and Tidal Wave, a powerful guaranteed hit technique after a hyperguard slam. It also details moves like Horizontal Creep Kick, Horizontal Sweep Kick, and Reverse Spiral Axe. The page includes a command list for Rock's moves, but it is not necessary to list them all out. Instead, the summary focuses on the descriptions of his fighting style and key moves mentioned in the text. There are also gameplay screenshots illustrating some of these moves in action. This Soul Calibur strategy guide focuses on Rock, detailing effective gameplay strategies. 1 point covers a specific combo. Tips 2 emphasizes mid-range combat using moves like Reverse Breeze Axe and Hunting Breaker Wave, controlling space, and utilizing shoulder tackle and throws. Close combat points suggest quick attacks like Bear Fang and low attacks such as Horizontal Creep Kick, stressing throws against guarding opponents. The guide also showcases Rock's second color variation. The stage section describes the ancient Grand Arena. Winning pose details victory poses. Player's voice compares Rock to Astaroth, highlighting unique techniques like Breeze Clutch and Spiral Clutch, while noting his easily telegraphed throw as a weakness. Quote, "This page is a detailed character introduction for Mina from Soul Calibur. The page highlights her as a time-release character, the 9th character to unlock in arcade mode. It describes Mina as a powerful character despite her cute appearance, suggesting she's a force to be reckoned with. The profile section details Mina as a runaway daughter with a strong will, who embarks on a journey to find Soul Edge. It mentions her family history and her determination. The weapon section introduces Mina's weapon, the Red Thunder Nodachi, explaining it's a large, powerful sword capable of cutting down a horse in one strike. It emphasizes the weapon's weight and the strength required to wield it, noting that Mina brought this treasured family weapon when she ran away from home. The page then moves to representative techniques, showcasing key moves like Yugeki, Katsumen Shushu, Senpuku Kugi, and Shinmen Shu. These moves are explained with their commands and effects, focusing on their strategic uses in battle, such as launching opponents, initiating combos, and creating openings. The tips on how to use Mina section provides guidance on utilizing her unique fighting style, emphasizing her ability to control space and power through opponents. It details specific moves and strategies to leverage her strengths and overcome weaknesses. The page also briefly mentions the command list, listing various moves and their inputs, but it's a table format, so we will skip listing each move individually and just mention it is a command list. The next page is a guide for playing as Mina in Soul Calibur. It provides tips and tactics for using Mina effectively, particularly focusing on maintaining mid-range distance combat and using counterattacks in close-range situations. The guide highlights Mina's strengths and weaknesses, suggesting strategies to exploit her reach advantage with her Najinata weapon. There are sections explaining how to approach combat against opponents, such as keeping distance when facing approaching enemies and closing the gap with retreating opponents. It also details counterattacking strategies for close combat. The page features character art of Mina in her second color costume and several in-game screenshots demonstrating gameplay and moves. There are lists of moves, including normal attacks, running attacks, and throws, along with their commands and properties such as attack level, high, mid, low. Finally, there's a player's voice section, quoting arcade players who discuss Mina's strengths and evolution in the game, noting her potential and the development of new tactics and skills. The winning pose section shows screenshots of Mina's victory poses, labeled A, B, X, and Y. The stage featured is Turkey Underground Labyrinth Hall of the Dead. This page is a special interview feature in Dreamcast Magazine Part 2, focusing on Soul Calibur on Dreamcast, targeting 1 million players. It mentions that the previous issue of Dorimaga featured development stories about the Dreamcast version of Soul Calibur, and this issue continues by delivering comments to people who have actually played Soul Calibur. The interview seems to delve into the creation of the opening movie for Soul Calibur, mentioning that it was developed in 4 months, using real-time models instead of just pre-rendered movies, aiming for a blend of movie-like quality and real-time elements to create new possibilities and excitement for players beyond just movies alone. The interview includes comments from the developers discussing their approach to the opening movie and the technical challenges they overcame to achieve their vision within the Dreamcast's RAM limitations, emphasizing the effort to create an opening experience that feels both movie-like and seamlessly integrated with real-time gameplay. This page is a special interview focused on Soul Calibur for Dreamcast, titled Special Interview for Million Players. It discusses the Dreamcast version and its enhancements over the arcade release. The interview reveals secrets behind the new motion, techniques, and voices added to the Dreamcast version, and the story of the creation of the Mission Battle Mode. The interviewers, including Mr. Ojanda and Mr. Konishi, discuss the challenges and improvements made for the Dreamcast port. They mention that the Dreamcast version offers more than just a port, with newly added elements such as time-release characters and Lizardman being playable characters. The developers talk about incorporating player feedback and adding depth to the single-player experience with the Mission Battle Mode, which originated from the desire to create a mode similar to Edge Master Mode from Soul Edge on PlayStation. They also hint at hidden elements and secrets within the game. Screenshots on the page showcase gameplay and character portraits, highlighting the visual fidelity of the Dreamcast version. The page emphasizes the enhanced volume and original DC elements in Soul Calibur, stating it's more than just a simple port, and encourages players who enjoyed the demo to purchase the full game to experience the remaining 90% of its content. They also mention the new motion capture, techniques, and voices specifically for the Dreamcast release, and the inclusion of Cervantes as a new character, stating he was not complete in the arcade version. This page is dedicated to the fighting game Seventh Cross, which is a Dreamcast title focused on robot combat. It's reporting on the official tournament results for the middleweight class, showcasing the exciting battles that took place. The page highlights the top players and their robot configurations. Screenshots show in-game fights with robots battling in an arena, displaying character stats and health bars. Characters like Baru, Phoenix, Melmo, and the Earth are featured in match reports from the semifinals and finals, detailing their victories. The page also includes the official tournament schedule for upcoming events, listing dates in August and September for both openweight and middleweight class tournaments. It seems to be a recap of the event and a promotion for future competitions within the Seventh Cross community. This page is a Super Scoop announcement, revealing that Rent-A-Hero might be coming to Dreamcast, marked as Rent-A-Hero #1 on the release schedule table, although details are still unset. The article highlights the excitement surrounding this news, with user comments expressing strong demand for a Dreamcast version, especially from those who enjoyed the Mega Drive original but missed out on the Saturn version. It mentions the possibility of this corner becoming officially recognized and continuing its coverage. There's also a call for reader participation, with a Hagaki big recruitment drive aiming for 100,000 people to commit to buying the game if it's released on Dreamcast. Currently, 180 people have pledged to buy it, with a goal of 99,820 more. The page emphasizes reader involvement and the enthusiasm for Rent-A-Hero returning on Dreamcast. This page is a user submission section for World Neverland Plus Olruud Kingdom Stories. It highlights user-submitted ideas and experiences related to the game. One section discusses a parody version idea, set in an old people's kingdom called Olruud, where characters live longer and start at age 60. There are also 4 comic strips included, which are humorous scenarios, likely based on player experiences. User submissions discuss topics such as in-game retirement and pensions, and hardware setup for playing the game. A 4-panel comic strip is also featured as an award-winning submission. This page is a section called Old World Kingdom Submission Communication, which is dedicated to reader-submitted 4-panel comics called 4 Koma. It announces the start of submissions for 4 Koma manga. The theme for submissions was family life, and it mentions they received many submissions related to married life. It gives 2 examples of submitted 4 Koma manga under the headings Murderous Intent 1 about a marriage, and Murderous Intent 2 about childbirth. Instructions are given for submitting 4 Koma manga, including size guidelines and what to include in the submission envelope, such as address, name, age, and occupation, and to mark it for the Dreamcast Magazine editorial department, Old World Kingdom Submission Communications section. It also gives an address for submissions to SoftBank Publishing. This page from Dr. Gaze's laboratory details the virtual pet game, Seaman. Players raise seaman, starting from a baby gilman, requiring a stable aquarium environment and regular feeding. After approximately 23 days, the gilman transforms, developing fins and a more fish-like appearance. Communication is key. Tapping the tank to speak with seaman helps it develop both its voice and intellect, leading to evolving conversations and personal questions from seaman that require honest answers. Proper feeding is crucial for healthy growth, and seaman will directly request food. The game, a vivarium and cohabitation simulation, was released on July 29th. It was available in 2 versions, both including a microphone for voice interaction. This page focuses on the Dreamcast game Seaman. The top section, titled, "Behold, Seaman's Ecology. Gasp! A complete explanation of blood-sucking behavior?" Quote, discusses the shocking blood-sucking behavior of the seaman creature, suggesting it is a natural survival instinct and part of the game's unique ecosystem. The text also mentions the player's reaction to witnessing this behavior and how the seaman itself seems to enjoy it. The lower section, finally, get a bug cage. Seaman's chrysalis and larva rearing method. Quote, acts as a guide for players on how to obtain a bug cage within the game and rear the seaman larva. It explains that to get the bug cage, players need to show the seaman a bug cage, hinting that the seaman might provide clues on how to get it. The guide also details the larval rearing process, starting with growing grass in the bug cage and using a spray to maintain humidity at 90%. It emphasizes that this initial step is crucial, and the rest will naturally follow. The text also mentions observing the seaman's face during the chrysalis stage, suggesting a unique and unsettling visual experience as the seaman develops into its adult form, and the player may even encounter the human-faced moth in the process. The page hints that talking to the seaman, even during the chrysalis stage, might be pointless as it might not understand. This page is an interview with Saito Yutaka about his game, Seaman Forbidden Pet. Saito discusses how Seaman is not a typical marathon-like game development, but a project driven by his desire to create something unique, starting with sound files. He emphasizes Seaman as a communicator, using voice recognition as the primary interface and visual memory for a personal touch. Saito mentions the large volume of voice files, around 5,000, enabled by the Dreamcast's hardware. He highlights the personal nature of Seaman, where players use their own visual memory units, creating a sense of personal space. A key point in Seaman is its unique dialogue and the feeling of being spoken to, aiming to evoke a sense of pleasant discomfort when the seaman questions the player. The interview touches upon the philosophical aspects of Seaman, considering the concepts of life and death, and the seaman's role as a living creature that must eventually die. Saito explains that he wanted to depict the natural cycle of life and evolution within the game, moving away from typical stress-relieving games to offer a deeper, more meaningful experience for users. He sees Seaman as a way for players to have a unique summer experience with the Dreamcast. The page includes images of Saito Yutaka and screenshots from Seaman, demonstrating a gameplay element where the seaman's eyes are turned around, showcasing the game's humorous and detailed animations. This page announces the end of the Jino-chan Times Corner in Dreamcast Magazine. It's humorously presented with a major incident headline, and mentions it's the final edition of this popular section. The editor, Neko Shogun, Cat General, bids farewell to readers, reminiscing about the fun times, and assures fans that although Jino-chan Times is ending, the spirit of Dreamcast Magazine and Turb will continue. The page also highlights reader submissions, particularly illustrations in the Illustke corner, showcasing fan art of characters with names and locations like Alice B. from Tokyo, Puri from Kyoto, and Seichan from Kumamoto. The page then focuses on the game Senkoku Turb, posing the question, which way is the future of Turb people, suggesting reader engagement and feedback regarding the game. It also has a ranking section related to Senkoku Turb, encouraging players to remember the game's hierarchy. Game details for Senkoku Turb are listed, confirming it's an action RPG developed by NEC Home Electronics, released on January 14th for 5,800 yen, supporting one player. A fan disc called Fan I Love Me Dunce Double Tundra is also mentioned for Senkoku Turb. This page is an advertisement promoting travel to Hokkaido in Japan. specifically the areas of Hakodate and Otaru. It suggests using junior trains and buses for convenient travel within Hokkaido. It highlights the scenic beauty and suggests that summer is a great time to visit. The page also features a section called Dreamcast Information Gathering Team, promoting the use of the internet for travel planning. It provides website addresses for Junior Hokkaido and another travel information site, implying these resources can be accessed via Dreamcast, making travel information gathering easy and fun. This page is a travel guide to Hakodate in Hokkaido, Japan. It highlights Hakodate as a tourist destination easily accessible from Honshu, and emphasizes the city's historical significance, modern architecture, and scenic views. The guide recommends exploring the city using streetcars and buses, mentioning affordable fares and day passes. It points out the availability of tourist information and signage throughout Hakodate, and suggests popular spots like the Morning Market, Bay Area, and Mount Hakodate. Bike rentals are also suggested for exploring. The guide also mentions the Mashu Maru Memorial Ship in the Bay Area.
The next page appears to be a travel guide focusing on Hakodate, Hokkaido, showcasing historical sites and attractions from the Meiji Restoration period. It highlights locations like the former Russian consulate, Motomachi Catholic Church, Old Public Hall of Hakodate Ward, and Goryokaku Fort, describing their historical significance and architectural styles. There's also a section about Hakodate-yama Mountain, discussing the romantic atmosphere and the possibility of confessing love there, and mentioning a high-collar clothing try-on experience where visitors can dress up in period costumes. It seems to be a travel feature presented in a magazine style, potentially with a tie to a romantic game or story given the To the North, famous scene pilgrimage section, and anime-style character, but no specific Dreamcast game is directly mentioned. This page is about sightseeing spots in Hakodate, where you can enjoy fresh seafood. It highlights places such as the stylish shopping mall in the Warehouse District, which includes glass studios and restaurants. It also mentions the morning market, where you can eat freshly prepared seafood like squid and crab. The Felicimo Christmas Museum is featured, showcasing Christmas trees and decorations. And finally, Mount Hakodate Observatory is recommended for its stunning night and day views, with a mention of a tea room nearby. The next page is a travel guide to Otaru, Hokkaido, promoting it as a romantic destination known for glass crafts. It highlights attractions such as the Otaru Canal, with its historical buildings, glass workshops where visitors can see demonstrations and purchase original items, and local cuisine. The guide recommends exploring Otaru on foot or by rental bicycle. It advises that shops in Otaru close relatively early in the evening, around 7 p.m. or 8 p.m., so shopping and dining should be done during the daytime. The page also briefly mentions the Nekotsubo and the Suzerain molds at a glass art museum as local specialities, connecting them to a character named Tarnya. The guide emphasizes that Otaru is a town where you can create romantic memories. This page showcases tourist locations in a town with canals and a fishing port, reminiscent of settings that could inspire a Dreamcast game. It highlights several places of interest, including the historic Bank of Japan Otaru branch, a red brick building with notable architecture, and a building that is beautifully illuminated at night. The Otaru Music Box Museum and the Steam Clock are also featured as must-see spots. For local produce and seafood, Sankaku Market is recommended. When in need of refreshment, the guide suggests taking a break at Kissa Angel Cafe or Ice Cream Parlor Misono. Lastly, the page points out scenic viewpoints, such as the Otaru View Spot for panoramic harbor views, and Asahi Observatory for beautiful sunset vistas. This page is a report on events and merchandise related to the game To Heart, released internationally but known as Kita-e in Japanese. It's issue 14 of a magazine. The page covers 2 event reports. The first is a close-range stage talk and live event featuring voice actresses Chiyako Kawasaki and Hiromi Kono for the Photo Memories release. It was an event for people who purchased Pure Songs and Pictures at Ishimaru Denki. It's described as having a relaxed atmosphere, and the stage felt close to the audience. The second event report is from Tokyo Character Show 1999, where Chiyako Kawasaki also appeared. There was a signing session, and goods were quickly sold out. Erica. It mentions further events are planned for summer. There is information about a stage performance called Funka Step 2, featuring Hiromi Kono. It is currently running, and is described as a mix of songs and dances. Hiromi Kono mentions that there are detailed performances, and it's worth seeing multiple times. The schedule for Funka Step 2 is listed as August 5th to 8th at the Shinkokuritsu Gekijo Small Theater,
with ticket prices of 5,000 yen. Ticket sales and contact information are also provided.
Finally, there is an advertisement for new Kita-e goods available from August 25th. These include premium Telica telephone cards and Kita-e Photo Memories theme song CD and a Nokia illustration calendar 2000. Prices are listed for each item. A Kita-e Four Seasons live video is also advertised at 2,400 yen.
This page highlights new games for the Neo Geo Pocket and upcoming information for King of Fighters 99. The article focuses on two female fighters in King of Fighters 99, showing off moves and combat strategies for Mai Shiranui and Kasumi Todo in arcade mode. New Neo Geo Pocket Color releases are previewed, including the puzzle game Puyo Pop, released on July 22nd, and Neo Turf Masters for sports fans, released on July 29th.
Finally, the puzzle game Shanghai Mini is also showcased.
This page introduces the new Sega Naomi arcade game, Touch de Uno, a right brain ability check machine designed to awaken the user's right brain. Developed by Sega's Software Third Research Team, this touch panel-operated game is presented by Tomo, one of the right brain four sisters. The game is designed to test right brain skills like intuition and imagination through 6 puzzle stages. 3 of these stages are highlighted: Search, Hexagon Paint, and Scattered Search. After completing the test, players receive a check sheet with their results. The game is described as easy to play with simple touch controls. This page is an advertisement for SKY Perfect TV's Digital Club, promoting anime programming for the summer. It mentions that for people staying home during the summer and finding regular TV boring, the Digital Club on SKY Perfect TV offers a solution with 300 channels, especially anime. The page showcases screenshots from various anime series that can be viewed on the service, including Mobile Suit Gundam, Fist of the North Star, Giant Robo, Dokuben, Space Battleship Yamato, and Batman, the animated series. A cartoon character representing the Digital Club is also featured, holding a remote control. 2 anime channels, Animax, channel 724, and Fuji TV 721, channel 721, are advertised on Sky Perfect TV. Animax broadcasts anime 24/7, featuring classics and new releases, including theatrical releases and special programs. Programs air Monday to Friday 9 p.m. to 11 p.m., beginning September 10th, showcasing anime such as Mobile Suit Gundam and Gundam Wing, Endless Waltz Special Edition. Fuji TV 721 focuses on past Fuji TV anime, nostalgic dramas, sports, and original programs, broadcasting anime like Fist of the North Star, Queen Millennia, and Dr. Slump. An interview with Takanobu Teraoka, a Banpresto producer, discusses his love for anime, stemming from childhood experiences. He enjoys super robot anime with clear settings and iconic visuals, particularly those with weapon calls during attacks. Teraoka's enjoyment of the Super Robot Wars games led him to appreciate older anime, and he views the increased anime broadcasting as an opportunity to revisit classic series. This page is advertising anime programming on Family Theater and Kids Station channels. Family Theater is showcasing Giant Robo the Animation, The Day the Earth Stood Still, highlighting its high production quality and story featuring Yokoyama Mitsuteru's characters. Also featured is Ninku Ninku, an original video animation from 94-95, and Trigun, described as a popular anime from 98. Finally, Akage no Anne, Anne of Green Gables, is mentioned as a beautifully animated series. Kids Station is promoting Dokuben, a baseball anime, Ushio and Tora, based on a popular manga, Kappa no Sanpei, an adventure story by Shigeru Mizuki, and the movie Treasure Island, an anime adaptation of the classic novel. An Anime Channel Irregularities section discusses the prevalence of anime channels on CS, communication satellite, and the experience of watching anime on these channels all day long. It touches on nostalgia for older anime, the variety available, and the feeling of constant anime content being broadcast. There are also speech bubbles discussing various aspects of watching anime channels, including the abundance of shows and reminiscing about past favorites. This page highlights 2 TV channels, the Home Drama Channel and Cartoon Network, and their anime programming. The Home Drama Channel section promotes classic anime like Space Battleship Yamato, a monumental work in anime history set in 2199 about Earth's crisis and hope. They also feature Young Ashibe, a heartwarming story about a young boy and a seal, and Science Ninja Team Gatchaman 2, a sequel where the villainous character returns. Finally, they mention Magical Princess Minky Momo, describing it as an RPG-style magical girl anime. The Cartoon Network section focuses on American cartoons, showcasing titles such as Batman, Superman, Tom and Jerry, and Sky Kid Black Devil, a slapstick comedy featuring a devil and a dog in a stage set in the sky. Finally, there's an interview section with actress Kyoko Kuga, who mentions enjoying watching foreign TV shows and anime. She recalls watching Tom and Jerry as a child and lists various other anime titles she watched, including Anne of Green Gables, Sally the Witch, Princess Knight, Rose of Versailles, and Tensai Bakabon. She expresses a preference for anime because of its storytelling and relaxing nature, and shows interest in digital clubs and Escape ER. This page is advertising the Digital Club subscription service for Dreamcast via Sky Perfect TV. It promotes access to various channels such as Sky Sports and Music Japan TV at a discounted price, allowing members to enjoy anime and other genres. The service includes free rental of a dedicated tuner and antenna, and a service equivalent to 10,000 yen for installation. Subscribers also receive a member-exclusive information magazine, and the service emphasizes the ability to freely choose favorite channels. This page is an advertisement for Digital Club, a TV subscription service in Japan. It outlines how to join the Digital Club in 3 steps. 1. Check the antenna location. 2. Apply to join the Digital Club. 3. Have an antenna installed for a special fee. The ad details the costs involved, stating that a Digital Club designated pack contract costs 200 yen per month, with a basic fee of 290 yen. Totaling 4,360 yen per month. Different channel packages are listed, including Sky Entry Pack, Perfect 21, and Perfect Pack DX plus Sky Sports Set, with their respective monthly costs. Contact details for Libricons DC, Digital Club Center, are provided, including a phone number, email address, business hours, and website URL for inquiries and signups. The ad mentions that to join, a credit card or bank account number is required. This page is an advertisement for WonderSwan game strategy guides from SoftBank Publishing. It highlights perfect guides for various titles, including Super Robot Wars Compact, Chaos Gear, Last Stand, and Vawit's Blade, each priced at 980 yen, except for Vawit's Blade at 1,100 yen. The Vawit's Blade guide promises to cover everything about the game, including all Vawit's, items, stand, story, maps, hidden events, and rare Vawit's acquisition. Also advertised as coming soon are perfect guides for SD Gundam Emotional Jam, Neon Genesis Evangelion Training Plan, and Mobile Suit Gundam MSVS, Emus Visas, slated for August and September releases. The SD Gundam Guide is described as covering stage strategies, conversation events, and unit data. The Evangelion Guide details instructions on raising characters, event scenes, item data, and card game strategies, stating it will be 112 pages and priced at 980 yen. This page features a profile of AI Miyake and provides her personal data including her name, Miyake AI, birth date as March 9, 1974, making her 24 years old at the time of publication. Her blood type is O, and her height is 159 centimeters. Her hobbies are listed as collecting Power Stones and collecting cute small items. Her career details mention CD releases, including a song titled Life Is Not Sweet, which was used as the ending theme for the TXASAYAN TV show, the song Labyrinth, the song To the Sky, which was also an ending theme for TXASAYAN, and Tomorrow Surely, which is listed as the opening and ending theme for TBS's Power Stone, and another ending theme for TXASAYAN. The text in the green box describes her as someone who believes she has the power of Power Stones. This page features an interview with Ai Miyake, the singer of the theme song Asu ni Todoke, for the anime and Dreamcast game Power Stone. Miyake mentions she knew from the beginning that her song would be the theme. She talks about collecting Power Stones and how she held onto hers while recording the song for inspiration. She describes her personality as enjoying solitary walks and daydreaming, and her ideal date would be a quiet island or a farm. Her recent hobby is creating tapes with her poems. She also mentions her radio program called Miyake Ai no Rondombi Radio, and its opening song, Asu ni Todoke, by Like Uncolored Velvet. The release date for the song is August 11th. She encourages listeners to play the Power Stone game and listen to the CD. The Check It section introduces the band LUV, like Uncolored Velvet, comprised of vocalist Ai Miyake, guitarist Yumi Sato, and bassist Minori Ishida. They debuted in September 1998 with Jinsei wa Ama Kunai.
Masao Akashi is responsible for production, composition, and arrangement. Their fourth single, Asu ni Todoke, released on August 11th, is the opening theme for the TBS anime Power Stone. The song is described as upbeat and empowering, with a notable guitar solo. The band members are highlighted for their diverse personalities yet high musical skill. An official website is mentioned. Lastly, a piggy bank featuring Ai Miyake's signature is offered as a reader gift, requiring postcard applications with specific details. This page is the front cover of a magazine focusing on games, with the main features highlighted. Feature Story 1 is about Sega's counterattack and includes an interview with Masashi Saeki from Sony Computer Entertainment. Feature Story 2 is about games for adults on sale to good reviews, with a bold statement, "We went ahead and did it boldly," and a question, "What excites the maniacs?" regarding games in general. The special section mentions games like Gekisu Tomarunner to Yukaina Nakamatachi, which is likely a Japanese-only game, Culdicept Expansion, Ace Combat 3, and Sagare Ijiri Akimoto Kitsune to Kataru, another likely Japan-only title. The GM Recommend section lists a variety of games including Klonoa, Door to Phantomile, Giant Graham, Mario Golf 64, Tokimeki Memorial Drama Series Volume 3, Departure Poem, Seaman, Pop Music, Kuon no Kizuna, Buggy Heat, Stratosphere, Over My Dead Body, Comic Party, EverQuest, 99 Kushien, Tribes, and Akogare. Some of these are multi-platform games, and some are likely Japan-only titles.
This page presents a weekly horoscope section titled Dreamcastrology. It provides fortune readings for each zodiac sign focusing on areas like money, health, love, and work. For each sign, there is advice given, often mentioning lucky colors or items. The horoscopes are presented with cute cartoon illustrations representing each zodiac animal, divided into advice for boys and girls. This horoscope page appears to be tailored for readers of the Dreamcast Magazine, giving general guidance for the week ahead. This page is a Reader's Prize giveaway from Dreamcast Magazine, featuring 4 different prizes. The first prize is any Dreamcast-compatible software, with 20 winners selected. The second is a Kunigita Mariko Teleka card, with 5 winners. The third is a Dreamcast Rock Memo Pad, also with 5 winners. Finally, the fourth prize is a Frame Guide official guidebook, with 10 winners. On the right side, this page announces the magazine's release date for August 20th, and previews the issue coming out on September 3rd. The next issue will include a Super Deluxe demo disc on GDROM, and will feature strategies for Soul Calibur and Sonic Adventure. It also highlights summer holiday special articles. The magazine previews upcoming Dreamcast titles such as Cool Borders Burn, J-League Pro Soccer Club Otsukuru, Verpoint 2, Shenmue, Atsumare, Guru Guru Onsen, Mobile Suit Gundam Gaiden, Colony no Ochita Chi Day, and Mobile Suit Gundam Nadesico, The Mission. It also mentions new Dreamcast arrivals like Langrisser Millennium, super producers Mizase Showbiz Kai, Shin Nippon Pro Wrestling, Tukon Retsuden 4, and Maburoshi Tsukiya. Lastly, it promotes Dreamcast complete guides for various games and topics, including a thorough strategy guide, Pro Yaku Team Otsukuru, Frame Guide, and Akihabara Denu Gumi Patapis. The page also includes contact information for inquiries about the magazine content. The left bottom section contains a list of staff credits for the magazine. This page is an advertisement for the Dreamcast game Marionette Company. It announces the release date as October 7, 1999, priced at 6,800 yen, excluding tax. The game is described as a situation adventure, where players can customize a marionette with over 150 parts and experience a branching narrative with over 150 scenario events. A key feature highlighted is the Dreamcast's capabilities, boasting enhanced graphics and sound, along with an icon-based menu. As a first-press limited edition bonus, players will receive a dress-up cell card featuring the game's marionette, allowing players to dress and undress her in various outfits. The game also utilizes the Dreamcast's Visual Memory Unit, VMU, with a minigame called Heartful Catch, where players catch falling hearts. The advertisement lists the voice actors for the main characters, including Chiaki Maeda as the Marionette. It encourages players to visit the game's website and join the Marionette fan club for free, promising numerous benefits. This page is an advertisement for the Dreamcast baseball game, Let's Make a Pro Baseball Team. It emphasizes the game's network capabilities, allowing for online tournaments and matches with up to 10,000 teams. Prizes are mentioned for entering teams, and the game is advertised for release in August at a price of 5,800 yen. The ad includes a cartoon mascot character and screenshots from the game, with a list of baseball team names also shown.